Good day, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Viper Survivor Land, and oh boy, Grim starting us off with 30 months resubscription. Holy moly. That's a whole heap of working a month. Also, hey Grim, thank you for the resubscription. Welcome to Viper Land in the chat. I'm aiming for some background music because we're going to end up pausing a lot, so I'm trying to keep just the background music going, but quietly. Because I don't want it to be the driving force here. Also, hello, Ramen, Potions, Grim, Millie. I don't. Oh, Topaz. Sorry, almost missed Topaz. My bad. That would have felt bad. Welcome everybody to Viperland in the chat. So, I literally just went on the Bob Ross YouTube channel, sorted by most popular, picked one that seemed cool. I really haven't. Oh, hold on. This is overlapping me a little bit. Shrink that down just a smidge. Not that I need to be everywhere at all times, but you know. So yeah. So the plan tonight is we have MS Paint. My experience with MS Paint is all the art things you guys have me do. I've got an episode queued up, which is going to go. It might be too loud, actually.
Hi, welcome back. Glad you could join.
He's actually very
Today
quiet.
I thought we'd do a fantastic little painting, maybe it's deep in the woods.
Hopefully it's
very
audible.
dark and misty, and I think you'll enjoy that. So let's start out and have them graphically run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with me.
Yeah, that's all the colors, but I'm going to have to mix my colors myself, so...
While they're doing that,
We got my Bob Ross hat given to me by Millie. It's hard to tell on camera, but the under brim of it is a Bob Ross painting. Like, there's an image printed on the underside.
Listen, I've already covered it with a thin, even coat of the liquid white.
So we got the Bob.
It's ready to do a fantastic oil painting on it. So let's
also his seventh and Sir Jude. Welcome both of you to Viperling in the chat. How you doing?
Let's start. Tell you what, let's use a little.
There's gonna be a lot of pausing the video, and I apologize for that ahead of time. But like,
sap green. So we have phthalo blue.
Because I'm gonna have to try to match what colers he's using in this. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Alright, so it's a bluish green. That's the best I got here. Honestly, that's not far off, but we're gonna just edit colors. We're gonna do a lot of editing colors tonight. So if we got somewhere between a blue and a green, I basically eyeball it. Well, we can start from there, go a bit bluer. Yeah. That doesn't look awful. It doesn't look accurate either, but it doesn't look awful. Right? If only I could use the dripper tool for YouTube. Oh man, this is gonna be something. Alright, so how are we going to get those brush strokes? What's a good thing in MS Paint? This is just going to be me testing a few things to see what looks like it could... Do you know what? It's not a wide brush like he's doing. It's not terrible in terms of just getting that brush look. What else might be okay? Honestly? No, it doesn't have the streaks in it. So this is the... Oh yeah, drop a bit. Also, hey Sora, welcome to Viperland in the chat. How you doing? This is going to be the testing bit. This is also not the right color. Now that I'm seeing it in a larger swath, this is not it. MS Paint is a very limited program, which is the whole point of this. No, this is not going to be... You know, it doesn't look terrible, but it's not...
It's magic.
You'd think that would work. It looks like a brush, but it's not. They need just one big, like, brush, and they don't have it. This is probably the closest we're going to get. And this one runs out of paint. I tried this one just a few swaps before stream. It gives you a limited amount before you have to unclick and click again for more paint. So, it's going to be something. Hold on, let me see. So hopefully you guys can see this. Unfortunately, I didn't crop out all the stuff at the bottom, but hopefully it's passable. Let's get a better look at that color he made.
Let's start. Tell you what, let's use a little phthalo blue.
It runs out of paint after a few little...
Sap green. So we have phthalo blue and sap green.
See, on the board, it looks like just a darker version of what I made.
A little bit of paint. I don't have a whole bunch of paint. Now then, we're going to be deep in the woods. We need some nice...
We'll just go with this, but darker. It's definitely a darker color, and I wasn't really planning for that. That looks okay. It's okay.
Colors back in.
We'll let them go for a little bit. We'll just see what we're trying to go with.
This around, twirl it, let it play.
There's no way we get it to have that effect.
With be dark in areas and light in areas.
There's no way we can duplicate that with MS Paint. Oh, this is gonna be Gonna be good. Alright, alright, alright. So they started kind of top center, but it's so like light and airy. How do you even... Honestly, I'm feeling... now that I'm looking at it, it's too green. Hold on. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this color right at some point. Is it the smidge too green? We'll just go smidge bluer. Yeah, do you know what? We're gonna land on that. That's where we're gonna land on it. Hydrate out. Hold on, is my tea cool enough to actually take a sip of yet? Oh, it is, because I say it is. Please don't burn me. Toes the line, but it's not bad. Also, hey Mitz, welcome to Viperland in the chat. Spotted Fade is your best bet. Spotted Fade? What's that one? I don't even know what that one is. Oil brush. Watercolor brush. See, I like that brush look, but... Oil brush. They both run out of it. What I had. Oh, okay. Yeah, the airbrush. It might be our best bet to just get... Okay, okay, we're gonna try. So he's definitely going like a sweeping left to right. There's definitely going to be areas of higher concentration of color, areas of lesser concentration of color. This might be our best bet. It is not going to be 100% accurate, but we knew that going into this, right? Right? Alright.
Use a lot of pressure in places and no pressure.
Kind of a little darker on the side. Kind of darker over here, but a little lighter over here.
Just like so.
Little areas of darkness, little areas of light. I feel like you should probably have every bit of it some amount of colored.
Really push hard when you want it to be darker, and then where you want it light.
Yeah, he's using brush pressure. I gotta use just going over areas more often. I'll double up on an area. But this is working. I wouldn't call this ideal.
Blue and sap green.
Are you using the same color, or did he go a little different?
Mix on the brush. There, I want a little darker right
It looks like he just got a little darker. Same color, but like, you know.
And you don't care where this goes.
Some bits.
Just let it blend down and play.
Looks like he's letting it go fairly far down the canvas too, so we'll go with that. Yeah, this is also... I was tempted to start with Season 1, Episode 1, but I was like, nah. He added sap green to it.
Bucket that I scrubbed the brush against.
Just like in the video.
Shake out the excess.
Yeah, this is the largest brush size.
Just beat the devil out of it. That's all.
The child's painting? Oh, it's gonna. Trust me, it's gonna.
We'll go right back up in here.
See, like, there's nothing I can do to simulate that. There's nothing I can do to simulate blending it.
I don't want to lose all these light and dark areas.
There's nothing I can do about that.
Beat the devil out of it.
I feel like I can maybe go with a slightly lighter version of this.
Way back in the distance.
Get a little bit more
will be happening back here.
lightness on this side. We gotta kind of cover everything.
Nice little background. We'll just go across, take out the brush strokes.
Again,
Water down here.
take out the brush strokes. Yeah, we can't do that. But you know, I feel like we got the closest we've got to like some sort of.
We'll make this dark.
I'm keeping an eye on what he's doing. I'm
Maybe right in here.
gonna keep up with that once I get this bit a little better.
There we go.
Okay, so I see what he's doing, and I'm gonna get to that. I'm just trying to keep this as gradient-ish as I can. Get some areas of slightly darker, some areas of slightly lighter, but no areas of just pure white. But we got plenty of areas of pure white. It's never going to be perfect, mind you, but I can't strive for perfection because the tools I have cannot be perfect here. And honestly, he's kind of starting from about there, but he added a little bit of black to it. He went a little... Well, a fun note, titanium is white. When you buy white paint, what makes white paint white is the titanium. It's just the color of the metal. Which is why you have different... I know these things because I used to sell paint. I used to mix Benjamin Moore paint. It used to be my job for years. The different bases you use to mix different colors, you have to have different bases because they have different amounts of titanium in it. If you pump as much pigment and color it as you want into a lighter base, it'll never get to be a super dark color. It's got too much titanium in it. Titanium is also what gives paint its coverage, its ability to cover the previous coat of paint, which is why super dark colors that are mostly pigment and not titanium, you're going to need a few coats. If you're doing a dark red over a white, you're going to have to hit that a few times. No matter how much they say paint and primer in one, the titanium is missing. You can't have the titanium for dark color, but also the titanium is required for coverage. So it's a balancing act. The more you know. It's something I'm actually mildly knowledgeable about because I did it for years. That looks more... Maybe I can go away from this... I don't know. You know what? Let's just see how this ends up looking down here. I feel like that might be a little too much. But I also don't hate it. I don't hate it as a way to get different textures in there. It's not ideal. It's not going to give the variance in light and dark as much as the spray can. Don't hate it. Yeah, I kind of covered the bottom right of the screen just because I couldn't figure out where else to put good old Bob. But I can always move that around. If you guys are like, what exactly does the bottom right of the screen look like? It looks like the bottom left of the screen. It's just something else. It's unless a small detail. I didn't watch the video, so I don't know if the small details go on that side of the screen. If they do, I'll work with it.
Start at the bottom because I want it to be the darkest, and then work back upward. That way it's going to pick up the liquid white, and automatically it gets lighter in value.
I can't do that. That's cheating. I can't do that. Right, hold on. We'll go with this. We'll take the color we got. We'll just shimmy it a smidgen lighter. Just gonna blend it all in. Just picked up the liquid white. I know. Bob, you madman. Exactly. See, now, do you know what? Now we probably go with this one. Now we start to get a little bit of lighter over the darker. Looks like it's kind of blended up a little bit, maybe? I have no idea what I'm doing. We're playing this all by ear. It's just all of it. So it's fine. Nothing quite like that super jarring dark line there between the dark and the lighter. It's delicious. You can really feel the gradient blending everything in. Beautiful. Beautiful. I have other episodes I can queue up if we get through this one, but judging by the speed we're going right now, we're not gonna. But you know, that's something like... Nah, it's nothing like a gradient.
Somewhere in there.
It's true. It's fair. We're going to end up painting over most of this. That's a fair point.
Okay, wash the old brush one more time.
And he definitely left
That's
these
the most fun part
bits
of this whole technique,
like white.
Just washing the brush.
That's
Sometimes they slip out of you.
that is a approximation of what he did.
Now I'm going to take the liner brush.
We'll go with that.
Put some thinner on it and go right into a little bit of...
Oh, thought I had a sneeze, but apparently my body went, nah.
Van Dyke Brown. Now this paint is thin like water. It's about the consistency of ink. Turn that brush. Pull it to a nice sharp point. See there? Good. Let's go.
The sharp points we can work with.
We're going to start making some decisions. There's all kind of trees that live in here.
Alright, so he picked Van Dyke Brown, which I'm going to say is like this but darker. I feel like we can work with that. Because it looks like a very dark brown. It's definitively brown, but it's definitely like a... It's not black, but I'm going to say it's somewhere in that range. Color is so hard to tell. Like and there's a difference in color between my monitors, which is so... It's just how it is. There's a difference between my monitors, a difference between monitors and phone. I'm sure there's a difference between what I'm seeing and what you guys are seeing. Color is so tough. Also, hey Mint, welcome to Viperland in the chat. How you doing tonight? Give me just 1 second. Nose has decided it needs to be blown. Oh yeah, this is the optimal software for emulating a very blending style of painting.
That's where they ought to live.
All right. I like what he's doing. Let's
These are far away trees. And we can just put the indication here and there.
I feel like this one...
If it doesn't want to flow off your brush, add a little bit more of the thinner, see, and then it'll just flow. And I'm just
Well,
going
yeah,
to
do you know what?
some
Yeah,
basic
yeah.
indications. When you're at home and you have all kinds of time, you can put in just as many or as few as you want. There we go.
Alright, I see what he's going for. Give me a second to just, you know, toy around. Like, I gotta toy around with my tools, basically. Like, that's my issue. I don't know the tools I've got to try to keep up with them. We'll approximate here. It's almost like lightning, but going up. Got that look to it. Get some... Oh man, it's so easy to lose your cursor here. Like, can you guys currently... If I... Stop the cursor. I mean, compression, of course you can't see it. I can't see where my cursor is. I can't see my cursor at all. It's there, by the way. Oh, this is... Alright, yeah, well... No, this is not the music. I just queued up the 14 soundtrack, but now we got some really dramatic sounding, like, war music. It's like, this is Bob Ross. I did not set a separate playlist for, you know, chill Bob Ross music, and I'm regretting that now. You know, it's life. It's what it is. You know, put branches where it seems like branches will go. I like that. Like, ooh. Now we should probably connect. Should probably make sure it connects. I can always zoom in if I need to, but I have Bob Ross and all paths lead through me. Yes, everybody who has ever painted since Bob Ross has channeled a bit of Bob Ross, even if they didn't know it. And it doesn't matter what type of painting either. Have you painted a house? You've channeled some Bob Ross. This is just factual. You can try to deny it. You're wrong, though. Kind of like the wavy look to the tree. He didn't go quite as wavy on his, but I kind of dig it. Kind of feeling it. You know? I feel like this is all about what I'm feeling over here. We got some really... I can't do, like, transparent. I can't do super light brush strokes. I want to do those distant trees, like, really light. This might be the closest we get. Like, I can lighten it. It's not quite the same. You know what? Actually, I want to darken it is the thing. Legitimately, I want to darken it. It's got some... That's not terrible. It's not great. Not great. But it's not terrible. Hold on. I don't think this one's going to be the one. No. Ooh, that's not bad. I like that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling that one. Gives them a little more layers to them all. Okay. Faint tree. Looks like he's got another super faint tree over there. About that one. Okay. I know I don't need to one-to-one mimic him. I'm going for general vibes, not just, this is exactly where the lines need to go. I get that. But, you know, do what we can. Is it got another lighter tree over here? Honestly, this brush is working pretty nice. It is called the oil brush, right? No, that's the watercolor brush. Let's try the oil brush. Ooh, that's too big. Don't need a tree that big. Also kind of works. I feel like we should have used this for that first tree. First tree is kind of jarringly not that. We'll say we learned as we went. Can we eyedropper that actually? I fear one of you guys say redeeming a death. It's just like I
I
can't.
have been called the god of art. You will now know why. Upon my holy brush the very world lies in balance.
I've never actually seen any Fate stuff, but I just imagine Unlimited Paintworks, and it's just Bob Ross. Like, the extent of my knowledge of Fate is people die if they're killed, and Unlimited Blade Works is a thing. And it has blades. Unlimited numbers of them, actually. And it's got a speech. I don't know the speech, but I know it's got a speech. Right, this is me poorly trying to go over it and hide the pixels. And honestly, it's kind of working. 14 quote.
And now the scales will tip.
Man, I've been playing 14 for 2 years. I've gone through the MSQ once. You think I'm going to remember one quote from the MSQ that isn't Gaius von Balsar? You're wrong. So Tactics Alliance raid. Oh, I've actively blocked out the Tactics Alliance raid because Ramza. I've actively forgotten the story of that. Not because my memory is bad, which is my usual excuse. It's because Ramza is the worst, and I just wanted to. Correct. There are no mistakes, only happy accidents. But I'm covering that happy accident with this happy discovery of a better way to make it look. So you're right, and I agree wholeheartedly. But we're still going to adapt and overcome. It still is noticeably different, but it's not jarringly different.
Try it both ways. Whichever works the best for you, then that's the right way.
Yeah, the raid. Keep in mind, until very recently, I hadn't replayed any of those raids. It only happened recently because they added the Boshin weapons to them.
As many as you want, or as few, and don't make them all straight. Trees grow every which way. Some of them have little
That's a good quote. Where are we up to quote
Like people.
445?
Everybody's different.
Jeez.
Trees are different.
Jeez. We have gained some quotes here. Let's go for a slightly lighter tree. Because, like, he's kind of running out of paint on his brush, so it's making it a little lighter, I think. I wish I could make this a little narrower. I like this brush, but I wish it was just a smidge narrower. We're going to go for big sweeping. Gonna have a lot of branches, but they're all coming into the same trunk. I feel like that works. Ooh, that one's a little off to the side, but we make it work. Okay.
Let them be individuals. Let them have personality.
Argue that was a little too light.
There they go.
We'll just add a little highlight to it.
Well, it looks like
You know what?
looks like woods already back here.
Add a nice little. Yeah, there you
It's
go.
nice. When these
Nice
paintings
deeper
dry, they have a tree trunk that
through line.
has some shine to it. So for
Go.
that,
Okay.
I use liquid clear. Take a little liquid clear.
Liquid. I can't do
and
liquid
paint.
clear.
Now put these in tree trunks that are a little bit closer. Now when this dries, these trunks,
Can't.
it'll look almost like they're glazed. By glaze, it just it's a thin paint.
You cannot change opacity in MS Paint. No, it doesn't. I would love to mint, and if we were in Photoshop, I would absolutely do that. Paint does not have that option. There's no opacity option. There's just view. What you see here is what we got. Liquid clear. I can't open another layer. Oh, these will be nice shiny trees. Yeah, I believe that. Can we edit with Paint 3D? I want to click that, but I don't want to ruin this. Yeah, resize, rotate, pen or pencil, paint, text, erase, eyedropper, zoom, the brushes. That's it. Paint 3D is hot garbage. Cool. I'm not gonna hit that button then. Don't grace it with a click. Okay, good to know. All right. We're working with this. How do I can't make it shiny. Hold on, maybe I can. Maybe I'm lying. We can make it shiny. It's actually more see-through than shiny. I do like the wavy trees though. Like his are very stick-like. I'm kind of digging the wavier trees. This kind of works a little. It's not emulating what he's doing, but it gives it a slightly different look.
It's put over. The old masters used to use a lot of glaze.
Yeah, when you compare something to MS Paint and you call the other thing hot garbage, that's
Farther back.
that's tough.
There we go.
A little,
Just wherever you want these.
I don't think this is gonna work very well.
There we go. Don't want to get too carried away here. You could spend all
It's
day
okay.
just putting in all kinds of beautiful little tree trunks.
I don't want that there. Oh goodness. What even? Oh, Among Us. Okay, I was like, what even is that? Give me a second. It's actually gonna cut out the video for a second. I apologize. Because I'm capturing this window, so there you go. Nope, don't translate from Croatian.
Amagusa mogasa mogasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagasamagas
That auto-translate. Gives me a second to look at other brushes, right? It's fine. Honestly, the pencil's not bad. Or like, it's actually almost too thin. Or too light. It does let us add some that are like clearly in the background. I kind of like the clearly background trees. I feel like that kind of works. Like it's super light and faded, but it kind of works out nicely, and you can go over it again to deepen it a little. Yeah, we have very like bendy circular trees. They all kind of have an arc to them, not just straight lines over here. Honestly, this works. It's not what he's doing.
The liner brush does fantastic things. The liner brush is nice because it has a long hair on it.
But you know,
Long hair. And it
it's not
a lot of
bad either. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how well this is going to you guys, because compression, but also it's not really a moving image, so hopefully it's coming through okay. It's not really moving around.
Let's take some of that phthalo blue.
Compression's a
Little sap green.
tricky thing sometimes, though.
Reach right over here. Grab a little touch of white.
On your end. Cool. Okay. Good to know.
Side.
So blue, green, white. Like, I'm sure if I picked this up and started, like, moving it around the screen, it would go to hell.
Phthalo blue, sap green, touch of white. I'm going to add a little black. It's too bright.
Too bright.
Too bright. A little more white so we can see what we got. Good. Good. Very nice.
I can even tell it's like it's not even all mixed together because he's Bob Ross. That's how he can tell. The answer is because he's Bob Ross.
And then just begin.
It's like, how can you tell that's the right color? It's not even really mixed in. All right. So like a leafy green color. I'm down with this. I could probably find some big approximation. Oh, hold on. Let's take one of our earlier colors. Honestly, let's see how that looks with the spray can. Doesn't look bad. Honestly, the color's not bad. It's not great either. Also, hey Giganox, welcome to Paperland in the chat. How you doing? Yeah, this is definitely looks like the airspray tool. It covers up a bit more of the actual trunk than I'd like. But that's just, I just got to get my technique down. I think the color's not great. I'm going to darken it a smidge. I feel like that as a starting point kind of worked. I feel like that's the kind of thing he's looking for. Peanut Martsoon? Oh, cool. Have you gone through them before? Or is this just going to be like your re-going?
Barely tapping.
Barely tapping. Barely tapping is tough because... Okay, I can't do just barely tapping entirely.
If you want them to have more curve on them, then hold the brush.
Well, I kind of...
If you want them to be straight, go straight in, see?
This time, besides... Really? You started with 365 too? That is a strange starting point, but I hope you enjoy it. It's a ride. I like the Kingdom Hearts games. They are objectively weirder as they go along. I still have fun with them, but it's a ride. Bob Ross took a can of spray paint. Like, look, in the time it took me to do this, look at what he's done. This is why he's Bob Ross and I am Viper. I'm going to try to keep them fairly leveled-ish. I mean, I feel like they may not be the highest contrast, but I feel like the points coming across so far... I feel like that branch is a bit weird, but that's been weird the whole time, so whatever. I'm having a good time with this. Whatever may or may not artistically come from it, I'm having a fun time with it, so you know. That's the important thing, and I hope you guys are enjoying watching this. Many points have gone. I like how this one just ended up being a stick. All these like majestic trees and just stick. There you go. curvy stick. This one kind of stands out. Well, let's call it a. Oh, hold on. We're gonna Bob Ross this and work with it. We're gonna call this one more like a. Man, that was not where I thought that mouse cursor was. I'm gonna call it like a mossy stick. Kind of got some moss growing off it. It's a little deeper green. We're kind of, you know, deviating a bit. There you go. It's our mossy stick. Now back to that green is what we're using. Or I forgot what green we're using. Yay. Yeah, it's MS Paint, and you know, and I'm still using mouse, so it's not like we got a tablet here or anything. Like, this is fairly difficult working conditions for it, on top of, you know, just not having a ton of your paint art knowledge. Well, that's kind of the whole point of Bob Ross, right? Screw it, have fun, try it. Is it gonna look exactly like Bob Ross's? No. Have fun doing it. There are no mistakes. You say that's a stick, I say you treat it so. I tried to put the music quiet in the background because I knew I was gonna have to pause a lot and I didn't want just dead air. But it kind of works. Okay, now I want to see Ravana as Bob Ross with 4 paintbrushes instead, and he paints the butterflies on the field. Wait, no, this isn't. This is Susano, not I had the wrong boss. Then I want to see a tank catch the paintbrush, the giant revel in the glory of art. Yeah, I want to see that. That would be pretty good. But now I also just want to see Ravana with 4 heckin' paintbrushes. I feel like that would be very cool. Very funny, very weird. Alright, I'll hit play on him in a minute, but it's taking me longer to get through the stuff than it takes him, so we're just gonna work with it over here. The sea is part for our brush alone. Man, Susano's such a fun fight. He's just there to have a good time. He likes swinging his sword around. Like, he's a primal, but he's not bad. He's just there to party. And all his parties involve giant swords, because, you know... And, you know, he's the primal god of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so, you know, he's got to be pretty chill. Non-14 people listening to us are probably like, Viper, you're high. Stop. We could put a 14 spin in these pictures, just throw Susano in the background there. Man. He really is a chill primal. I don't do the fight often enough.
Thicker. Some nice bushy creatures that live here.
Okay, so he's making some bushes down there. Okay.
And some that just sort of float around.
He's got some not necessarily attached to the trees, because, you know, it's a dense forest. Marshy, misty look. Okay. We're just gonna let him do a little bit catch up and just bask in the Ross.
Pushes everything back.
Kind of feel like I brought my trees a little too far down on the left side, but whatever. Close trees.
Just sort of show through and it'll look like there's all kinds of little branches and leaves. And squirrels have to have a place to hide.
Squirrels gotta have a place to hide, he's right.
Tree urchins, because they live in the tree.
Call squirrels tree urchins.
Around where I live, and they come down and I feed them. They come and eat all the time at the house. Have all kinds of little creatures.
You could look away from Bob Ross for 10 seconds, turn back, and it's a different picture. It looks like a different painting. There's a squirrel on. There are episodes where he brings a squirrel on. I agree. If I finish this one, I'm gonna have to do that. That sounds amazing. I want that. Oh wait, we already had a slightly darker one. Yeah, we'll go with that. Go. Alright. Like, this kind of gets the arcing feel. It's like waves of leaves. Yeah. Like rolling waves, but they're leaves and bushes. I'm gonna go with that. I think it kind of works. We'll have to go over some of these, obviously, like darken the color a little, give it a little more oomph. But as a general first pass, I feel like this works out for like the overarching texture. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just making up words and terminology for MS Paint. It's fine. This is how you texture a painting. When everything is airbrushed, nothing is airbrushed. That's the hope. There you go. I feel like there's bits of that look like a dense underbrush. Certain small bits of it. Very small bits of it, but you know, still. Alright, I'm feeling this. Just gonna kind of keep going. Oh man, I get carpal tunnel tonight. I mean, if I haven't gotten carpal tunnel from Path of Exile, then nothing can do that, but, you know. Ooh. Don't want to click OBS over there. Maybe we'll go to the left instead of the right. Right off this side of the window is OBS for me, and I almost hit the stop streaming button, so, you know. Oops. A little bit down here. Just to kind of blend them a little more, get a little bit going higher. Not shabby, not shabby. See if we can do some of those branches in the background. I kind of like the keeping the darker, not branches, but like, you know, distant leaves. Kind of like them being darker. It seems they're more in the background. Even though I know he's doing it all the same color, you know. He's Bob Ross. He can do that. Alright. I feel like we're at least,
I showed you my little bird. Maybe I'll show him again. We're beginning
Sure,
to
we're
get so
playing
many
Guilty
calls
Gear.
about him.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just have to show him again.
That'll have an effect on people too.
Tell you what, let's do. Let's take.
I feel like he's kept his very centralized, and I've definitely spread out a bit more.
Decisions. Maybe there's some land that lives back here.
Okay.
Just all I'm doing here.
I gotta rewind a little. I didn't see what he did for color.
Alrighty. Tell you what, let's do. Let's take a little brown. This is just straight Van Dyke brown. And let's start making some decisions. Maybe there's some land that lives
Could be
back
drawing
here.
too. Why not? Yeah. MS Paint along with.
All I'm doing here.
A sketchbook along with. Or, you know, do your own thing. It's also cool.
Just like so. Just a little color. No big deal.
Whatever works.
No big deal. We'll take a little white.
Alright. So we had some brown. I think it was a darker brown. I'm not sure, but I'm going to say it's that one and a little bit darker. Still definitively brown, but like darker than the tree trunk brown. Honestly, I feel this one. Hold on. Test swipe. That might work. Okay. This is just seeing how it looks. I don't hate that for this. I feel like it does mimic the edge of the palette knife. Oh man. Doesn't really blend it in any way though. Won't be as hard an edge. It'll give a little more layering to it. Definitely not quite the same, but I'm gonna commit to this style. He definitely kind of tapers his to a point, but whatever. Again, I've long since given up on trying to one-to-one his painting, and I would argue it's never the point, is to try to like one-to-one recreate his exact look and scale, and I'd argue that's absolutely not the point. Yeah, screw it. There's a little bit that goes into the water over there. Why not? Let's just go with the lines. The lines work.
Little white, little dark sienna. Pull it out, cut us off a little bit, then barely touch. just put the indication of a little highlight here and there. I don't want too much. This is too far.
It's gonna be oh, okay. Just grab a little white little. All right, all right, all right, all right. We can work this. We can work this. So it's kind of like this, but lighter. Good starting point. Like a really. It's all look at the layers to that. Also, hey Coco, happy birthday! Welcome to Viperland in the chat. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. I hope your birthday has been wiggly and fantastic. You have 2 opacity options, do I? Have I missed them? I mean, I guess technically different brushes kind of work that way. Honestly, it's this one, and I might have to go lighter. It works, it works. Yeah, the 2 brushes with opacity. The pen kind of works, honestly, or the pencil. I actually might need to go lighter. Yeah, I would, if you're going to try something like this, Coco, I'd recommend you try it with an actual art program, not MS Paint. But at the same time, it's fun. It's kind of fun working within the restrictions of what I got. You know what? We're just going to roll with this. Let me get some even more highlighted areas. Yeah, like that. Yeah, okay. Okay. I don't think I'm going to end up with the same visual look he's going with. Well, you know. We're working with this. Let's paint all the way more restrictions equals more fun. Yeah, honestly, the challenge of... Ooh, that got a little too high. Challenge of working within the restrictions is kind of fun. I'm not going to lie. The specifics of knowing that, like, this isn't going to come out perfect kind of works out. I don't know why I'm bringing this to a sharp point. I really don't know why this patch of earth has a sharp highlighted point to the end of it, but it does now, and that's okay. Yeah, you know, that's
too dark back in here.
with the same.
It's too dark.
Twitter procs, the background
Ooh,
pan.
there's a,
Yeah, that would be
number
nice.
6 fan brush. I'm going to go right into some yellow. I
Oh,
went into
going
the,
yellow. Okay.
liquid white first. Going into some
white.
yellow. Reach up here and grab some satin
Okay,
green.
yellow, white, and
Here,
green.
a little bit of black.
Are you giving the ground frosted tips?
It's not
Yes.
quite dark. A little yellow ochre to it.
Man,
Just mix these on the brush.
he's just making this so tough for me to find.
Yeah, maybe back
Make
in
this
here,
color.
see a little color. Just push upward with that brush.
Right, hold on. Go back to that
Yellow
palette.
ochre to it. Just mix these on the brush.
Yellowish, brownish, green. I don't even know where to start with that. You know? No, that's not... It's not terrible. It's a little greener. I feel like we're not really getting the brown there, though. Just mix it on the brush. Yeah, I know. Oop, uh-oh.
Maybe back
It's
in
fine.
here,
Everything's
see
good.
a little color.
Problem averted. Click too many
Just push
times.
upward with that
Rapid.
brush. Just pushing upward.
Honestly, I feel like we got a fairly close
There. See?
Get to
All
that.
the things.
color-wise. We got close enough. What do we do for the brush for that one? I don't think this is going to be the way, but let's just see how it looks. I'm obviously going way bigger. Like, no, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's far off, though. Little variance in there. Some going this way. I'm doing this all in one swipe just to proof of concept, see how it looks. I can always control Z otherwise. Honestly, not bad. I'm gonna commit to that style. It was blend it more later. Oh yeah, blending options. You know, I feel like this kind of works actually. Make a little, some areas a little higher, some areas a little lower. Gotta get a little bit of coverage off this stuff. Get the idea that there's actual plants around here. Blend down a little bit. Blend, yeah, sure. Some larger stalks of grass. Go this way. Maybe this side won't be quite as grassy. That right hand side kind of got overgrown a bit. Over here, not quite as bad. Man, imagine if I'd had like a tablet or something. This could actually work. Oh, man. No mistakes, happy accidents. Once I've committed to it and I'm not like testing it, it's not glaringly bad, it's fine. I can't say I won't control Z at all, but like, you know. That dip down, we're just going to brace it. It's what it is now. That one too. Yeah, see, if Millie approves, then we're doing good.
Just sort of happen here. And maybe I'm using that oval brush again. Here I'm going to add a little color.
Bob
With
Ross.
a least little touch of highlight here and there, not much. Not much.
Okay, so that one we're going back to the airbrush. It seems like it's the same color, give or take. And I got airbrush just a little. See, I like the bigger airbrush. It just spreads the dots out more. Like once you get the smaller dots like that, it feels like just using anything else anyway. Get a little highlights in there. I'm gonna say over here it's a little thicker, a little heavier. Feel on that side. Alright. The clashing of like the different brush styles too is fairly, it gives it a texture. Is it the texture Bob anticipated? No, but I feel like he'd approve. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna say there's a whole thicker patch down there. I'm sure it's gonna get covered up by something later. Well, there you go. Okay. People start commissioning paper for art. Done. Nobody should commission me for one of these. That's what we got the channel points for. It's all good fun. Undo is meaningless when you never make a mistake. Big thinking.
When we get into the foreground, then we'll begin adding more highlights. But right now, I just want the least little indication here and there. Little light playing through there.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely spread mine out way further than he did. He had his kind of centralized. He's got a little island in the middle. I've got a full land bar. Kinda.
We'll use a old fan brush. Liquid white. Titanium white. Load the brush full of paint.
Load the brush full of titanium. Okay.
Okay. Let's go right up here. Maybe there's some happy little water coming right down through here. And it's just bubbling along, having a good time, splashing, carrying on. Just think how water would think.
I absolutely get what he's saying, but taken out of context, just think how water would think. Happy little water. All right, let's get some happy little water. I'm totally down for this. I don't think we have to go as hard on the water because, quite honestly, we still had a lot of like white showing through. But this will let us, kind of do our own thing with it. What might the marker's the one to do? Marker's not bad. So lets you kind of see some of the underneath. What's the crayon look? Ooh, the crayon's actually not bad for that. Kind of feeling the crayon. Again, this is just we're trying these out first. We're committed to it. Obviously, we'll do it a little differently than that, but like, yeah, that's kind of feeling the crayon. Enough, also feeling it's just a smidge too white. I want to have some difference between the whites that's showing through from the canvas and what I'm doing. This is a little grayer. Let's do a little, honestly. gonna say the waves and like the foam won't quite reach into there. It's kind of just barely blocked off. Say that, so that's how it's gonna be. Oop, I got a little away from me. Oh, I should have just left it. Sorry, it's habit. It's habit. Should have just left it though. What's a habit? I don't even know if there's a redo. I mean, it's too late now. We already did something. Oh, let's just test. So undo. There is a redo. Okay, so I could have redone it. I just wasn't thinking. My bad. I feel like the water wouldn't quite conform to every nook and cranny or anything. Try to think like how water thinks, you know. I feel like I also maybe did it a little too thick, but whatever. Just crammed that right on. What do you want? Yeah, see, I don't even know what look I want, so we're going with it. Brand's the most prestigious of art of mediums, yeah.
You know, just pretend your water coming down here and having a good time, and just the world's happy.
He just blends it in down there, like casually.
Sudden, oh, you fall over. It falls right over. Look at that. That easy. You can make a...
Just casually blend stuff in like that. Like a boss. I feel like for that one we gotta go here. Maybe actually this time go a slightly smaller size. Hold on. A bigger size for out here. To blend it in a little bit. Bring it together a little. Do that little dip. 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 And a slightly little smaller brush. That little, like, ooh, that one. No, too late. It went down. We are way too close to the bottom of the screen compared to what he's doing. For sure.
Happy little waterfall.
But it is what it is.
Just drops right over. But
you say that, Min, but that's what I said to myself, too. Is I'm not going to, like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Honestly, there's nothing I'm doing that literally anybody couldn't do. Like, I assure you, you could do exactly what I'm doing and have it come out this good or better, realistically. I'm not doing anything fancy here. This is just sitting down with a Bob Ross video, a mouse, and MS Paint, and kind of thinking about what I do. That's the extent of it.
Like so. So many little happy things.
Yeah, he's like here in his canvas, and I am here.
There's a stone under the water there. All these little things just splash.
Man, man.
See?
Glorious. It's beautiful.
Actions just.
It's just like
Fan brush is fantastic for doing these. Just absolutely.
He did. And there's a waterfall with rocks underneath. Like, what? You absolute mad lad. Okay. Clearly ours isn't going to be quite the same. I feel like we've got a good line for the drop-off of the waterfall here. Even go a little further. I feel like we got the good line for the drop-off. We got that going. We just don't have the space for the rest of it. Just don't have it. But you know, canvas is taller? Maybe. That's entirely possible. He's probably tilted up, and I'm tilted sideways. But we started with what we started with, and we're going with what we got. But you're probably right, yeah. And I guess I should have thought of that before starting, but I didn't. So we're going with this. And we're gonna do the best we can with what we got. I think it's hard to add white accents to the bottom of the screen at this rate, because it's already clipped into the white. So we're not really going to capture that waterfall super well.
Just to play a little. Let me find. There it is. We'll just take a 1-inch
brush. This is a literal blind first attempt, and I'm,
you know,
brown, black,
that green.
green. Okay.
I want a very dark green here. Let's have a, maybe there's a happy little bush. He lives right here. Just push
Ah,
it
some
on a
like
very
really
dark little bush
striking
right here.
foreground stuffs. Okay, okay. I feel like it's like that. Maybe a little more. It's this end of things? Maybe like there. Okay, okay. Well, good. It's a lot of little things can all kind of work together. Midground, yeah. This is true. Foreground is going to be up in your face. That's true. It's more foreground than what he was doing is what I meant, but you're absolutely right. What is he up to now? Mad Lad Bob. Alright, what do we get for that for a brush? I'm feeling spray can, but let's see how this looks. Just as a... Actually, I don't hate it. Actually, I don't hate it. It's not going to come out just like his, but it's gonna look distinctly different than the stuff around it, which I feel captures the point. It runs out of paint. Bring a little bit to that side. A few little... We can get like a better through line. You know, wild bushes look wild. It's gonna look a little leaning to the side. It's got a little tilt to it.
In my world. In your world,
It's the
he's
magic of
using
layering,
the sunshine,
honestly.
so you can put all kinds of happy little highlights on him. But in my world, today I'm gonna have him in the dark. There.
He can run out of paint. I can't.
Just sort of
Oh,
close
he's
all that
going
in.
super. Okay.
Neat.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
pushes that whole area back here. Just pushes it right back
Yeah.
into the background.
Okay, I see that. I see that. What we might actually need? Pop. Go a little bigger on that. Yeah, okay. I was too restrained. I'm showing restraint over here. Gotta go. Gotta get into it. Push the whole background back. That was a little too wide, but whatever. I'll probably end up layering a bit on this anyway. There you go, almost like a pine tree in the front. I do like how you can see little bits of the stuff coming through. For conformity, I really should do it the same this side. Part of me is like, oh, maybe use a different brush for it. Screw conformity. And that might work too, but I kind of dig. You know what? Swap mid. Hey, May! Welcome to Viperland in the chat. How you doing tonight? Thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? What were you streaming? I didn't actually check. I apologize. I normally have an idea of what people are playing when I get a raid. I don't this time. Sorry. But I hope it went well. And welcome to you and the raiders. How's everyone doing tonight? We Bob Rossin, yo. We MSPainting. And it's going fun. I'm having a good time. It's debatable how good it looks, but I'm having fun. And you know, sometimes it's what you gotta do. Streaming 11S progression, very nice. Saw mirrors in 11S. That's how far we got. I don't know Savage well enough to know when that is, but I'm gonna say heck yeah and congratulations. And Alexander showing up in the background. Hey, I could just add a happy little Alexander. You know, nothing's stopping me from doing that. Also feel like his go a little wider at the base, whether mine should or not, I don't know. I feel like mine feel a little too palm tree-y. They're going very up. Also, okay, so that is. Jude, thank you so much, Jude, for the host. You're welcome, of course. Hope you're enjoying. I hope you decided to go do some art with it as well. We've got some heckin' artness going on. There you go. Bring the bottoms down a little bit. They're a little too just straight up in the air. They're a little too Christmas tree you just brought home and the branches haven't settled yet. like Draconian hinterlands. Yeah, that's fair. Mirror's pretty quick, so it's a good prop. Very nice. Heck yeah. Alright, so I got the concept down of what he's doing. Let's see what he's got.
If you lived here, you'd have to have a way to get over this little stream. So let's do that. Let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun. I've been having fun the whole time, Bob.
Maybe there's a happy
I'm
little bridge.
totally missing what colors he's doing, but
I tell you what, maybe it's behind
gonna
these
watch.
bushes, and all you can see is the part that goes over the water. So let's have it come up, and then maybe like this. We'll put some character in it, and then it has a little bend in it. There. Let me get the small knife. The small knife will do a little better.
okay, okay.
I'll put some little post on here. See, there's a little post. There's one. Look at that. Isn't that cute?
Get along with your painting comes out good.
There we go.
I mean, definitely that's, as Ramen pointed out, part of it is the magic of layering. If you screw up little bits on the back layer, here, it's going to get covered. It's all just going to add flavor and make it unique to the way you ended up painting it, so not everything comes out looking one-to-one like Bob Ross. But it's also just hard to go wrong with somebody just having a good heckin' time. Alright, I gotta rewind this a little bit because I didn't see what colors or anything he picked.
Now you can, yeah, let's have some fun. You'd have to have a way to get over this little stream. So let's do that. Let's have
Probably,
some
May.
fun. I'll take some Van Dyke
Just
brown.
like Van Dyke Brown. Oh, okay, yeah, so it's the same colors we're using for those. Like, he's doing all this blending and opacity stuff, which we clearly can't do, and it's still working. Still having a good time. I think what we decided Van Dyke Brown was that one, but like a little darker. Actually, probably... Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Hard edge. This might be the way. Just do a little test. Yeah. Yeah. There. Honestly, that angle's a little steep. Don't want people falling off their heckin'. It ain't perfect, but it'll do. What do we got for the posts? Don't think that's it, right? Nah, not really. It would work. Like, I want him to be straight, but I know it's not gonna be. Add a few little posts to it. Don't know if they're tall enough or not. That one needs to be a little taller. Yeah, we're getting towards the middle of it. Do you know what? In fact, there you go. One big honking post. Just let him catch back up towards you.
Maybe there's a happy little bridge here. And I tell you what, maybe it's behind these bushes, and all you can see.
Okay. Mario Paint? Oh man. That's gotta be pretty insane.
Is the part that goes over the water.
I've never actually played Mario Paint. Like, I'm aware of its existence, but I never played it.
This. We'll put some character in it. And then it has
One more up down there. Alright, alright. I'm gonna connect that one to the actual bridge because it didn't. There it is.
Do a little better for that.
His looks a little more angular, but whatever. Alright, it's a nice gentle slope.
There's one. Look at that.
Could be an Entry Odyssey stratum? Well,
There we go. That one goes
it's the painted world, yeah. It's...
Then, take
I feel like it's one of those things that, like...
the rail up here. We don't
Ooh, the rail. Ooh, getting fancy, Bob. Getting fancy. I feel like it's one of those things of, like...
there.
If when I'm done and I step back, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I kind of get it. As I'm looking at it, I'm focusing on the little things. And I don't hate it. I'm not hating it, but I don't think it looks that great. I'm fine with that. I don't care. I'm having a good time, and that's the important thing. Is that too big of a rail? I'm gonna say no, it's not. You're gonna say it's got a little high point there. We made it that way. We're sticking to it that way. There you go. Because they also show his zoomed in. Ours is way.
A little brown and white, tiniest little bit of paint.
That's
Now when I go
amount.
along here, it's just showing indication of a little
think?
highlight here and there.
Which amount?
Just a brightening.
I tend to not go back to dungeons often. I just do roulettes. I really should. There's a ton of like hard mode pets and stuff I'm missing.
Okay.
Huh.
Back to my small knife.
Have to go back
Got
through
a
stuff.
little indication here on these posts.
Okay, a
Gets right
little
in there and does these little things.
smidgen of highlights there.
There. Yeah, maybe here and there
I
I'll
feel like I
Betty.
do have that. Oh no, I think I saw it drop, but I didn't get it. How? How? He barely tapped. How? Oh, I might have gotten it from Tombstone. Oh, the current one. I'll have to check. I've got like 38 tombstones now, so I'm getting there.
It's magic.
I don't have it in me to do Praetorium more than once a day. Just one. So we're going slow. And I keep not getting Praetorium, so, you know, there's that. What did we do down there? Was that crayon or marker? Because I feel like that worked pretty well in terms of like trying to layer it a little. I need a smaller... I think that's part of the reason we have to make ours a little bigger too. Is just brush sizes. Q for prey, yes. But I refuse. If I'm going to level a class, we're getting that bonus, yo. What he did is he took just a little bit of a lighter brown and just went tap, 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 and now the bridge has got highlights. That's all he did. He blended some magic into it. That's it. Maybe this one. None of these have a small enough... Ooh, that kind of works. Ooh, that kind of works. Okay. We can work with this one. Yeah. I don't think we're going to get it on the hand railing very well, but that's okay. That's fine. We'll do a little bit on it. But for the post, that's pretty nice. I like that. That's definitely part of the reason I think this is also a bit larger than his. Besides the canvas orientation, which is definitely a point I hadn't thought about, and it is almost certainly part of it. There's also the fact that he can get these like razor fine lines, and a lot of the stuff we have doesn't quite work with that. Just get some accent lines up here. Not really going rhyme or reason to them, just kind of following the flow. It's so narrow over here. So narrow. I think he did just a smidge down here. The occasional little... Can't even see that one. Kind of feel like going from the bottom of each post kind of works. Excuse me. Yeah, I can't do... I can't get a big enough brush to fit his biggest brush. I can't get a small enough brush size to fit his smallest brush size. It's kinda... just making do with what you got in between. Yeah, that's an accent.
Just a little sparkle.
There's no way. Oh, just straight white up there?
Just here and there. Maybe light's zinging through there and it's right there too.
Do you know what? I know he's going white, and I know why he's going white, but I am choosing to deviate from this because I want to add a little mossy overgrowth to it. I see what he's doing. I like what he's doing. I am opting to go a slightly different because I just want that little like mossy growth on the handrail. Not much. Oh, that went off the handrail, but whatever. Just a little bit of like, you know, disrepair. It's got a little bit of accented like... It's a wooden bridge over water. Stuff happens, you know. Did you just buy art supplies in real life, do this daily? That would, if I wanted to become an artist, a painter, if I wanted to like, I don't know if that's what I would do if I wanted to become a painter, but if I wanted to, as a human being, casually enjoy painting, that's absolutely what I'd do. I feel like if I wanted to be a professional painter, that wouldn't be a terrible step along the journey. But I feel like that would just be trying to replicate someone else's style. If I wanted to be like a professional painter, but he's the one who made the asterisk. Oh man, Bob Ross is a primal. So if you gather enough crystals and you just think happy, positive thoughts, it summons Bob Ross the primal. Yeah, well, that's true because he uses oil paints, and oil paints smell nasty. I agree. But the problem is, water-based paints won't blend like that. That's the problem. They wouldn't have the smell as bad. Paint always has a bit of a smell, but it wouldn't be as bad, but it also wouldn't blend, so you'd have to get oil-based. An art class, not a trial. Oh man, oh sorry, I missed you typed something about the Thancred is a 30-year-old, still managed to have a midlife crisis. That's how Thancred do. And teach you how to use them. Would you want them? Nah, I do appreciate it. I wouldn't, I honestly wouldn't end up using them. But I appreciate it. You should hold on to those, and you should totally paint along to some Bob Ross, which I'm assuming you've already done, and you're actually better artists, like, you do real art stuff. But still. Can't do what I want with acrylics. Yeah, no. Eden Bob Ross. Bob Ross Savage. Bob Ross Savage is you have to follow a Bob Ross Joy of Painting, but Gordon Ramsay comes in at the end to judge it. That's Bob Ross Savage. Oh man. Can't paint with little paints. God, I hate them so much. I can...
Give it a little sparkle.
Oil paints stink.
That little rascal jump out at you.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know it from a
There we go.
canvas painting point of view. All my paint point of view is house paint and selling those types of things.
Where he lives.
But yeah, oil paints just stink. Literally and figuratively. So he's going more bush.
I'm going to push this bridge completely back behind these bushes.
Okay. So we did the bridge, but now there's going to be more...
Let's get a big one.
Don't get a bigger brush. I can't emulate a bigger brush. It's not fair.
Land areas and big rocks. Maybe there's some big...
He's shaking his head whenever we make a brush stroke. Oh no. That's so not Bob Ross.
Just take the big brush. It's a straight Van Dyke brown. And here we're just applying
dark
color.
Yeah, paint thinners, nasty stuff. God forbid you use a...
Right on out here. And all you're doing is laying in
My
basic
teeth's getting
shapes.
cold.
We'll go back with a knife and
What am I thinking
all
of?
this out and
A
make
word,
decisions
paint thinner.
about where things live.
Drawing a blank.
But right
Man, I blinked and he's already... Okay, hold on. He's adding more... He's adding more... Not turpentine, though that's not great stuff either. It's a specific type of like paint thinning chemical and it's just nasty as hell. Oh, it's terrible stuff. Mineral oil. That's the best you can use without being like terrible to your health. But yeah, like anything that can thin... It's nasty, not as nasty. Correct. Yeah, it's not as bad. Hold on, we already changed the color a bit. Bonk. Let's go there with a little bit. Let's mix it up a smidge. I'm actually liking a smidgen lighter. Honestly. Feeling lighter. Let's see how this brush looks with this. I hate that it runs out of paint. Ugh. I feel like a lot of the Stormblood music fits pretty well. Lincoln suddenly he's created the world. Yeah, it's true. Now that one I don't like as much anyway. It's the crayon look. I feel like the crayon has been a go-to for this. It's pretty okay. Does the bigger one get more like gaps in it? Oh yeah, that adds some texture to it. All right. Full metal. Oh yeah. Thankfully, the amount of time I've spent doing paint-related stuff has thankfully had less harmful stuff in it. Not to say none, mind you. But in the modern era, it's at least not as bad. Especially with the advent of, like, water-based paints. Not advent, but popularity. Though, again, there's still things, house painting-wise, you need oil-based paint for. If you're painting, like, metal and stuff like that, you gotta have oil-based paint. No getting a brush clean from oil paint. Yeah. So raw. It's still photosynthesizing. The paint is still wet. That brush clean. Oh man. Gordon Ramsay. I mean, I know as soon as I stop thinking of the chemical I'm thinking of, the name will pop into my head. But right now, I'm just like, what's it called? But it's a paint stripper so potent that like I've seen people wet like a paper towel with it and strip the paint off a magic card, like a foil magic card, so that they're left with just acetone. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Yes, acetone. Thank you. You dab like a cotton ball or a paper towel in acetone, and you could just rub the paint off of a foil magic card and be left with just a foil blank. And people would use that because they'd take those old like projector thin plastic films that they do use in like classrooms and print onto that like a fake card, so they could have like a fake, like, I don't know, Super Saiyan Goku magic card or whatever, but it would look like it was foil because you had a foil base. And it's just that bad stuff. Like, don't use acetone if you don't have to. It's actually disgusting. It's terrible. Acetone is the worst. You're hearing, what are you hearing instead of magic card? Magikarp? Yeah, let's go a little darker on it to kind of blend it in with those brushes. With first try, yeah. Just to kind of blend it in a bit. I don't know if that's what he's going to do or what he's been doing, but it just adds that little bit of, it's not just a jarring straight line between the two. Coat a Magikarp in acid. Oh, that would be the worst. You'd instantly kill the Magikarp. And it would probably ruin a container of acetone too. It's really a lose-lose. Like, that's a terrible decision. Don't do that. Acetone's the worst. Just get that little bit of texture in this side. Kind of blend. I feel like the blending went a little better on the other side, but you know, you make do with what you got. Shiny Magikarp back to normal. Dissolve Magikarp. Like, that was the one thing I always remember as being the worst thing we sold in the store, like health hazard wise. The Magikarp in the anime, take it probably. That was like definitively like the worst for the health we had.
Same thing over here. I'm going to push this bridge completely back behind these bushes.
Oh, he also went a little more on the bridge side, which we can do. We can do a little. Let's get that green again, but continue with this brush. Just kind of, that's the overarching shape, but let's you know, obfuscate a little bit. Excuse me. A little more bushage. More layers. I don't think this is quite getting the texture right, but it's getting the concept right of, you know, a little bit of growth. Nails all the time. Ooh, man. That would make sense, yeah. I mean, if you need to remove a subject or a something from another something, acetone will probably do it. If it doesn't, you know, peel off everything else. Specifically, don't use acetone in, like, especially not large quantities. If you're doing, like, again, painting, like house painting stuff, don't use large quantities in an unventilated area. Awful for you. Heavily diluted helps. But like, ventilation's important. If we're talking larger quantities, like, I'm sure nail polish remover quantities aren't as bad, but like when we're talking like buying a 2-gallon thing of it, it's so not good for you.
Like it. Brush is too slow. Let's get a big one.
Yeah, that was the point of him getting the bigger brush, and all of a sudden there's a hecking island.
A lot of land areas and big rocks, and maybe there's some big. Let's just do it. Just take the big brush. It's a straight Van Dyke brown. And here we're just applying dark color. Maybe there's one that.
Oh yeah, nail polish remover And
All you're doing
it
is getting
will, for
basic
sure.
shapes. We'll go back with a knife and
Okay. Just blown away by it. Just blink and it's just... By the way, here's a landmass. Here's a legitimate island. You blinked. Don't do that. We don't have any brush that can even anywhere near capture that. No, that won't work. Like, even this. That's not awful. He went a little darker on his. It's not actually terrible, though. And it still kind of keeps that, like, layered brushstroke look a little bit.
straight.
Formaldehyde? Oh, yeah. That's not a great smell at all. Yeah, no part of that's good. It's been a long time. The last time I smelled formaldehyde was 10th grade biology, where we had to do dissections, which I hated. As much as I love playing gory, stupid, violent video games, real life, internal stuff, I want nothing to do with it. I don't want to see blood. I don't want to see... No. But I'll play a video game where you take a shotgun to like some demon's head all day. And it's a great time. But like any amount of like see pictures online of like somebody with like a broken finger, it's like no, can't do it, don't want to do it. Yeah, I had to. We had to do earthworm, cricket, and frog. When I say cricket, what most people think of is what you see around your house, cricket. But these were like locust crickets. These were like dissected a shark. They did that. They had shark and fetal pig dissections when I went to nature's classroom, which is kind of a weekend-long field trip for school where you stay in like log cabins and do like activities, but you opted into those activities, so I didn't opt into the dissections. Obsessed with dissections. You're like, 8? Oh, that's awful. Ugh. Yeah, no, I never want to smell that again. And in fact, since sense of smell is so tied to memories, oh man, I would have beyond noped out for a crawfish. Oh god. No. If we had done a crawfish, I legitimately would just not go to class. I'd tell the teacher why, and they'd be like, well, that's not an excuse, and I know they would. No. Because a crawfish is just small lobster. That's all a crawfish is. You can say it's something different, you're wrong, it's small lobster, and I am not getting close to small lobster. Thank you. No. At all. Yeah, no. I couldn't. The concept of like, oh yeah, dissect a crawfish is the same to me as just like, oh hey, here's a crab. Just cut this up. Like, it's the exact. It's functionally the same for me. I want none of that. No thanks. Yeah, I don't think I could do other bits of creatures. I think I'm just never going to do dissection. I'm glad that's not a thing I ever have to do again in my life. Also, hey Birdie, welcome to Viperland in the chat. Thank you so much for the host. How you doing tonight? Take the pen portion of a squid out of its body, you can write with it. I believe that. It's coming across, it's coming along, you know. We got layers, we got stuff. I honestly, so far, I'm happiest with the bridge. I feel like the bridge came out nice. Like, there's no way I can emulate that with this. It's impossible. I can try to get a slightly lighter brown in here and go in like this, maybe? That's too light, honestly. Oh yeah, potions. Exactly. Like for you doing a squid one would be like, oh no. Yeah, you doing a squid one would be like me doing a crawfish one. Like, no. Nope. For some reason, I feel like I'm talking more tonight than normal, and I haven't been drinking enough. So I'm just going to take a minute, take a few sips, enjoy. I went a little different tonight. I've been going with vanilla chai tea lately, because it's just tasty and I like it. But for some reason, I was like, nah, it's too strong for Bob. So tonight we got a green tea with peach. It's a lot more like, it's still tasty and I like it, but it's a little more, you know, subtle, subdued, mellow, calm. I was about to grab one of the other tea bags. I was like, no, tonight's a green tea night. It's got to be green tea. Okay. I don't know if this is quite getting the accents I was looking for it. But we've committed to this, so this is the way it's going to look for right now. We might end up layering over it later anyway.
Just fill it up full of color.
Yeah, we decided last night that sharks are basically... Sharks are what happens when a necromancer gets a hold of a bunch of teeth and just animates that. The skin is just small teeth. The mouth is all teeth. It's teeth all the way down. It's teeth. When those teeth break, there's more teeth, right? It's just sharks are teeth made form. Add a little bit of blood, some eyes, the brain. There's your shark. Oh, he does go all the way to the bottom of it. Okay, cool. I don't feel too bad about being at the bottom.
As I say, we've got so many calls. Maybe on one of the future shows I'll bring him back.
I don't even know what prompted it last night, but it came up.
He's my friend.
Alright. So it's foreground rocks with some definition on the side. I like that. Let's see what we got. See if we can emulate that a little better. Yoink. So let's see if we can get that definition. That straight up just, well, there are some rocks here. There you go. There. There. And we'll get the larger masses separate. Let's say there's even... He goes to like center mid canvas, give or take. The rock there too. I'm trying to give him somewhat defined edges, less flailing brushwork for that bit. Alright, I'm happy with that. And then over here we go back to, you know, just filling it in a bit, but it still's got the brush strokes. I do like the way the brush works. You can kind of see through the top bits a little. I kind of dig that. That's why I don't want to layer it too much over there. I kind of like that little effect. Honestly. Oh, that's even better. Oh, that softens that up a nice bit. It's as close as we're getting to blending those together. Add a little bit of... Alright. I don't know if that's exactly ideal, but it makes it look less harsh and still have some accents to it. And we got the more defined stuff over here. Kind of go over those again real fast. The bits that are supposed to be like hard edged. Yeah. Again, it's not exact his, but got the vibe going. The shark, they don't have air bladders, they just rely on internal oil remain. Boy, that's weird. How do they get more or less oil to become more or less buoyant? Because to go up, assuming the oil is lighter than water, it could be the opposite case. They would need less or more oil. It doesn't match at all the color preview at the top of the screen. Yeah, I know.
Taking care of him under the supervision of the bird lady. We have
a
lady here in Muncie who takes care of all the injured animals and stuff. And
it's going on the left side too.
Lady. She keeps me straight and tells me how to take care of all these little creatures.
I like the sound of like brush on canvas.
In fact, one of these days we'd like to do a television show where we show you what she does, and people like her all over the country that devote their time and money and energies into taking care of all of God's little creatures.
I need to bring this out further because the way I did it, it's supposed to kind of frame the waterfall. So he did his that way. I need to do mine a slightly different way. It's fine. Now that I know what I'm aiming for, we got this. Happy accidents, it's fine. We want to kind of... that way, give or take. Yeah. Ended up with more land than expected over here. But Let's see if we get a slightly thicker line on the top. Don't want that to look quite as angular. Alright, alright. Never seen a dissected animal, but enjoying watching someone cut up and cook fish. See, you're not wrong. It's not entirely different, but I feel like it's different to me. I'll go and look for it. Fair, yeah. If I didn't have to for school, I would not have gone and looked for it. I assure you, I get that. The only reason I know of it is because I had to for school. It was a required part of that curriculum. Why? I get... Parts of it I get. I'm, generally speaking, more of a hands-on learner anyway, so I get the concept. But... yeah. Got a little bit of oomph over here. I want to add layers to it, not just have it straight block it off, but I kind of worked myself into a corner here. Kind of just has to be what it has to be. Try to get a little up close with that. Oh, there you go. Now it looks a little more... yeah. Okay, okay. Didn't expect it to be mud brown so much at the bottom, but... Tiger Dad over Bob Ross, yeah. I should go a little darker and get just some accents in there. I feel like some parts oh, that's too dark. Is it though? I mean, yes, the answer is yes, it's too dark. But just some... I think this was a mistake. I think that was a mistake. Blend it in a bit. That actually looks better immediately. That was the better decision. Like, it's hard to tell because it's dark brown on medium dark brown. But yeah, I should have gone with the airbrush from the get-go. But it's an easy enough thing to do. We're just blending them in, and it kind of is working, actually. Kind of liking the look of it. This is kind of what I was aiming for. To kind of replicate, because he's very back and forth brush strokes, so. Yep. There's the line. Mint's always ready with that. Oh, that was Ramen with this one, though. It's usually Mint ready with that one. Ramen's like, nah, I got you. Get the left-hand side a little bit more. This one I felt like needed more of the accents because there's just so much more of it, but we can do a little over here too. Like, I didn't expect that to be like so much. And like you can see on his, like, it looks layered. Because, you know, the way he's painting it. Harder to do here, but I feel like we've got, well, it ain't perfect, but there's layers to this. This is pretty. Man.
Same old dirty brush. I'm going to add some sap green to it. Pull this brush in one direction. Load a lot of paint into it. It's just tiny little bit of sap green. We'll grab some dark sienna too. So we got dark sienna, Van Dyke brown, and sap green. Maybe over here there's going to be a big tree. It lives right here. So we can go ahead and throw in some dark color.
Okay.
See how all this dark, it sort of closes in and makes your eye go toward.
Looking at his canvas, I don't see the difference in color between that and that, but it's clearly a different color. Does it add green to your dirty brush? I know, right? Alright, alright. So we're going to go with what we got, a little lighter. Go a little towards the greener side of things. Maybe about yay. Look at how much texture he's got. I can't do that. This might be my best bet, honestly, is the... Foreground stuff's got to be noticeable. It's got to be in your face. I don't think... Okay, okay. That gives some amount of texture to it. While also spread it out a bit more. It should just be doing this, kinda. Edges out. Or edges in, either way. There we go. Yeah, I like it going to about yay. Okay. Maybe it branches out a little more at the base. I feel like a lot of my trees in the foreground ended up looking, or mid and foreground, looking like pine trees, but also whatever. It's a pine forest. Who cares?
It's lighter.
Just is now.
All right. Let's do on the other side. Maybe there's a happy thing that lives wherever. You just make a decision.
Happy thing that lives wherever.
Wherever.
Yeah. You definitely went closer to the side. I'm definitely feeling mine's got to be a little more centered just because of spacing. Doesn't have to be, I guess, but... His was definitely, like, way off to the side. I'm gonna say... Bonk, bonk, bonk. There you go. That's our...
There we go. See that quick? We got all that blocked in.
You know what? He goes... Because of just the way his brush is, he ends up getting more accent stuff, so we're gonna go quick... Try to emulate some of that. Just slightly darker green. So it's just... The crayon adds some... texture, but this should add just a smidge more to make it a little more less just mono slab of color. Trying to be sparing with it if I can, though. Maybe a little more towards the bottom. Maybe over here too, a little more towards the bottom. It all collects down there. In the shadows, you know. This painting, what I'm doing right now, is what we do in the shadows. Oh, damn it. I clicked on OBS again. Didn't hit stop stream, thankfully. It's only a matter of time before I hit that by mistake. Only a matter of time. Go a little hard on the darker colors this side. You know, it works, it works.
I think we're ready to start picking out some...
Many new ways to typo.
Okay.
That's fine.
Now then, let me find...
Yeah, let's do a little, just a smidgen lower on the branches. I think I leave mine just hanging a little too high up. It's not perfect, but there you go, just a little lower. I feel like all my trees are very this when they could be like, ah, relax, just a happy accident. Yeah. All right, we're good.
A 1-inch brush. We'll dip it into a little bit of liquid white.
Liquid white.
Yellow, and I'm gonna grab some midnight black. I want this to be a dark, dark green. Pull that brush in one direction, loaded, full of color. Okay, let's go right up here. And maybe right in here, we'll put on some dark leaves. There, just to...
Okay, he's already adding some shading and accent to these. Okay, cool, cool.
Just like so. Look at all those things. See, but
So I'm thinking maybe I should have gone darker on these.
That are all living in here. Each one has its own personality.
Because now he's going the greener, lighter stuff. I can still work with that. So what we got, I'll start with what we had. So I feel like that as a base works. Go smidge yellower. Smidge brighter. Find a good happy spot for that. See how the brush looks. Okay, okay, okay. Actually, it's per usual, it's not going to be quite the same way he does it, obviously. But I feel like if we just hit some of those branches with those bits. Is that the Sistine Chapel, but lewd snakes? I don't know why that's so good, but that's really good. Would that be the Sistine Chapel? Again, we're going to deviate slightly from him. I like this for the outside. I think we're going to go with darker, again, a slightly more darker inside. The lighter olive green for the branches is working really nice. I like that a bunch. I feel like we need just a slight darker inside center of tree look. Alright, alright. Slow, steady progress. Little accents. Alright, let's go. I like keeping that, like, yellowish tinge to it. I'm doing Eureka. I don't even know what song we're on. Okay. You're so hyper. Can't help you with that, Mitz. Bob Ross does not hyper. Yeah, I guess this kind of works. It's not quite exactly what I was looking for. What we can do is also get one. Oh, hold on, let me do this one. Also get just a smidge darker. Honestly, I found the Eureka grinding very chill towards the beginning of the whole pandemic. I haven't really gone back in there for more weapons. I just wanted the elemental fending armor, and I regret nothing. That armor is beautiful, and I will use it on my tank sets forever. We should get more weapons. If nothing else, now that I'm on the Heavensward Relic grind, it's also... Eureka is also really good for money and poetics. And currently, I have a need for poetics. And money, because I bought Conditional Virtue. I was like, no. It was like 3.5 million gil, and I know that's high, but I was like, no, I don't really care to do BA, so I just bought Conditional Virtue. And I'm happy with that, but I should try to make some of that back. Definitely I'm taking way more steps than he was taking, but I feel like it gets us somewhere approximating the layers that his brush just does with that. I'm sitting here like, how do I do this? What colors? What combination? He's like 200k in his name. Jeez, I mean, I'm still at like 12 mil. So you know, for what it's worth, Olisha's filled with money. Eureka's stacked with money. Like honestly, almost on the pockets. Cool. As long as you passed the second one. The second one's the worst, in my opinion. Yeah. Honestly, like the first area, super chill, great introduction. Second area sucks. Oh, Pagos, okay. So it's Pagos, Hydros, Hydatos, I think. Pagos sucks. It's super harsh. They don't really teach you a lot of stuff. You learn by doing, but by doing kills you. Yeah.
All kinds of happy little things.
It gets... The next area is a little better. Hydatos... Oh, Hydatos Pyros. Okay. I was getting them wrong. Hydatos is better. Pyros is pretty cool. Not as super easy as the first one, but like... Hydatos after Pyros. Okay, that makes sense. Pyros is definitely better. It still has the concept of like... some dragons sleeping to separate some areas, but it's a lot more like... There's a lot less death drops and stuff to it. It's better.
where you can use almost pure
Yeah,
grass
I
as
like
pan
Hideautos better,
ratio.
but do you know what Hideautos is really good for? Getting those rare drops from some of the fates that sell for like a few mil because people need it for expanding their stuff. Those are pretty nice. Alright, so honestly I think he's using something close to that. With maybe a little more close to that. Leaning a little more towards the lighter side.
I like to leave some of these that are very dark,
Yep.
like that.
I liked bunny hunting though. Those were fun.
And here and there.
At the bottom right corner of the map, like, yeah, you walk for like 10 minutes to get there. And there are people who are mad, like, oh, who's got a bunny? It's not doing it. It's like, it's me, because it's on the opposite corner. I'm sorry.
Right, darker, darker, darker.
Gotta get there.
Leave these dark areas. They're very, very important. Very important. Oh, what?
Okay. Oh, so he's kind of doing what I was kind of doing of like layering the lighter ones around. Let's see if we can't make another slightly smaller bush. Kind of hanging out back there. You know what? Let's say this one's got a bit more of a droopy feel to it. Instead of all the branches going up. Got some going up, put a bunch of branches going down, and then converge. I know happy accidents, but that wasn't what I was meant to do at all. There you go. Add a little bit of that. Layering back onto this one. I feel like I'm doing it backwards from what he does. He starts the dark and goes light. I'm starting light and going dark. Honestly, I feel like this edition is standing out negatively, but we're just going to keep layering it till it's either a indistinguishable blob or it looks better. No, that was too harsh. I was worried about that. A little greener. Honestly, now I think it's just blending into the background, but whatever. Would we love one version better? Yeah, you know.
Brush off.
We do hear boss music, you know.
There we go. Now then, let's start picking out some stones and rocks. We use some dark sienna here, a little bit of white.
The stone brown, okay.
Maybe right along in here, we're beginning to see some nice rocky areas.
Okay, okay.
Still want this to stay quite dark. Quite dark. Just all kinds of things happening. Tell you what, let's do that up here. Now watch here, watch here.
As soon as he says watch here, I'm like, whatever you're going to do, I can't do that.
A sheer drop off right here, bank. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, the second he's like, watch this, I'm like, it's going to be great, but I know I can't replicate that.
You can make all the things that go up in there.
Mr. Ross.
Like so.
Yeah, it looks great. I can't do that. It looks really cool. Like, what he can do with the fairly, like, simple tools and just some paint, it's amazing. It's like, I know his point was to show, like, you don't need crazy talent, you don't need crazy stuff, but, like, he's got, what, 2-3 brushes and a palette knife. And obviously a canvas, the paints, the palette, but, like, still. Alright, so yeah, let's go find, I like this brown. I like a rocky brown, but I feel like he went a little earthier, for lack of a better way of putting it. And a little brighter. I don't know where to really grab that from. That's looking okay. It's too yellow. I don't want it to clash with like the same colors as like the tree trunks. Use the Perry Chun-Li's entire super. Yeah, you know, watch this. It's easy. It's. I mean, to him it is. It is, and from a technique point of view, it also is. Yes, he makes it look even easier, but conceptually, it's not that crazy. Alright, so if we're gonna do that drop off, we're gonna even attempt to do that, like, I don't even know if I'm gonna try that. That might be too bright. So we're almost certainly gonna have to spray paint over them again anyway, just to get that blending in a little bit. Too much. Alright. Some rocks. The top bit. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to... I feel like the airbrush is our way of trying to blend stuff in lately. It kind of works. Like some more rocks down there. Work. Okay. Oh, rocky area right over here. Yeah, I feel like at this rate, I've deviated enough from like his general look that I'm just kind of going with where I think they work over here, as opposed to like where he's doing them. Though, I mean, I guess it's still close enough, but you know, follow your heart. All right, and you know what? Bonk. There you go. So that's where we got those. What do we do for the blending color? We go there, maybe. Okay, okay. See, this is really cheating. Well, not cheating. This is a different concept, though, because, like, he goes super palette knife. These are super soft edges, but it's working. Still gives it some texture, makes it look not quite as jarring. It's funny, because the problem I have with these paintbrushes is their sharp, defined edges. Whereas he's using a palette knife, but it's still... It's a hard edge, but, like, it's a blended hard edge. It's so... Like, you'd think it would be the same thing. It's not. Or it doesn't feel it to me, at least. Maybe a little darker on this. Better, I guess. Still not perfect, but better. Enough to go with. It just makes me think I should have just airbrushed the whole time. Like, I should have just stuck to airbrush, but I like the different textures and stuff we're getting. For better or worse. Alright, alright. Beep your computer screen. Just drag it. Oh, no. Monitors are expensive.
Sometimes some of these stones get just full of little grassy and mossy things. So just tap with the fan brush, like so. Okay. This is in the greens and the yellows, and all you do is just tap, just touch, pick out individual stones. See, makes it look like it's just all kinds of little grassy, slimy things. Things that are wet all the time. They grow all kinds of little algae.
You can't even see him doing it, but he has these like subtle like spinnings of the brush. So he's not just doing brush like this. He's doing this. But you can't even see him doing it. It's so quick and so subtle, and it's just like genius. It looks like he's doing this, but he's doing like that. It's you. Alright, so I think he's kind of something in that range, but just not quite so neon. Let's go a little darker to it. The funny thing is, like, I have jars of moss right there. I could compare it to like actual moss color, but that and maybe a little greener. I feel like I'm gravitating to many of the same colors I've been. Not that that's inherently bad. I guess you could argue it brings everything together a bit more. This time we are going to do a smaller one. Just going to try to... Especially the one by the water. I feel like that's a prime candidate for some mossy rocks. Probably highlight that with like a slightly yellower green. And we'll do a little bit over here, but it doesn't have to be the whole length of the rock area. A little bit there. Like this idea, we just don't have too many rocks set up for it. Go to like a slightly yellower, still darker though. Highlights. And maybe a little less over here. Still got some, but not quite as much. Alright. Your arm down the left side. Should your arm I hate when that happens. It happened to me yesterday morning. I must have like slept on my arm the whole night. I woke up to just noodle arm, just like, yeah. And it starts to wake up and you get the tinglies everywhere and it's just like, could this stop? It doesn't hurt, but it sucks and I don't like it. Can it stop, please?
Ooh,
Body?
pretty. Stones look like they have fur on them at times.
Yeah.
Down here by the water, and you can just do as many as
Oh yeah, I didn't do any on the
these
left-hand
dark.
side.
Don't kill all the dark.
Honestly, we're gonna go... This side will go a little more yellowish. Maybe not quite as greeny with it. Maybe if you...
Become what you must.
Oh, the dark. Yeah, I gotta have that dark night. So let's have a little dangly. Well, that like dangly moss. I like that. And we'll go a little greener on it. We'll kind of inverse this one. It's the lighter green, darker accent instead of the darker with the lighter accent. You definitely want to be a little yellower with his. Mine looks like it's just kind of blended in there. And we got another rock down here. With the accents. Alright, I dig it. More than 7 hues PTSD. Oh, one day I'm gonna catch that fish.
Rascals.
And it's gonna suck. But I'm gonna put it in a fish tank, it's gonna be beautiful, and I'm gonna be like, yeah.
Okay, back to my 1-inch brush. A little bit of the yellow and the green. Now then, let's bring all this together. And we can begin putting all kinds of little bushes that live here.
Excuse me.
See, they follow the lay of the land, coming right down like this. As many or as few as you want.
Alright. So that's also kind of yellower green. It's such a fine line between just going like straight yellow. I don't want to hit the yellow. See if we can get some more. Bushes along this side. Yeah, I feel like looking back and forth between his and mine, his has got a lot more like depth of color, but like it's just the medium he's using. So let's see if we can even overlap here a little bit. Bushes kinda, Music is saying we're getting close to finishing this painting. That's victory music.
This is your world. So you make it happen.
We're done, I guess, yeah,
Tell you what. Maybe there's one. Lives down here. See how you can bring all that together? And we'll go back with our little fan brush. And let's put some little grassy things out here on.
Yeah, I don't have a
these
fan
stones,
brush.
too. We don't want them to be left out.
Hand brushing son
There
of a
we go.
talented
Just all
monkey.
kinds of little rascals. Got it. Now we can come right over here. Maybe there's a happy little bush. And he lives right there. Just sort of let your imagination go
Honestly,
crazy.
I don't think this side needs a bush for me.
Let's get the
I
small knife.
see the good
And we can
points
take
to the
some
layering of
dark
it. I see why he's doing it.
brown. Come right in here.
I feel like we
Just
don't
begin
need it on this side.
adding
I
all kinds of
do
little.
like that whole, see if we can dark brown, make it look like it's got a drop off. I don't know if we can actually obtain that look, but I dig it. I'm willing to try. Not dark enough. Too dark. Can't actually tell the difference between what I did and what was already there. Yeah, honestly, I don't think this is helping or hindering, and that's kind of okay. It's giving a very subtle, super subtle, like, amount of, like, texture to it. Let's try to add a little bit down here. Yeah, it didn't really work too well for me, but stick with it.
On these stones. Just bring them straight down. If you get a little of that in the water, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Can fix easy. See, just all kinds of little things. Now then, let me find my fan brush that has liquid white and titanium white on it. A lot of paint on the brush. A lot of paint. Now then, let's begin cleaning up the bottom of all this stuff. Water splashing into some of these little recessed areas here.
Okay. We can work with that.
That fun?
I think we specifically picked a white that
Maybe
wasn't
a
super
a
white.
little stone underneath the water. Just sort of look at it and make decisions. There's stones underneath the water all over. Just sort of take it. Ooh, there's another one. They go in all kinds of directions.
We don't have as much room to play with on that because of the way we did
You ever
ours,
listen
but
to a little stream?
you know,
It has one of the most peaceful sounds to it.
still gonna work with it.
It's always been one of my fantasies is to have a house that was right next to a little stream, and at night you could go to sleep listening to all that the bubbling and churning.
Yeah, we really don't have as much to play with around here
Just as many
because of that.
Look at there. Look at there.
It's how it is, though.
Here, wherever.
Yeah, he's got like a
Let's take
glowing, bubbling
Dip
waterfall.
into some
I squeezed in a little bit.
liquid clear and brown. Maybe there's some nice trees. Shoom, live just wherever. Many of them as you want, or as few.
Some foreground
You
trees.
can just drop a tree.
Let's see what this song is. This is Emerald Labyrinth is the name of it. So it doesn't say what it's from, it just says the
Tree
name.
limbs here and there.
Alright, let's just go on some foreground trees. Let's go. I kind of dig like that for the trunk color. And I think we decided, what was it? This brush? Ooh, way too big. Also, that was not the color I wanted. That one. Let's do a test one. Yeah, okay. Let's say a tree coming from roughly... I like one coming from like there. There you go. I feel like it needs one more, but I don't know where. I don't want it to come out of here. I feel like that's rocky. That's the whole point of that. Let's say over there, honestly. No boom. No boom. Monk. Maybe there. Maybe out of there. Longer one there. there. Did you want a little blue? Off that one. Maybe even off of that one too. And this one. Oh, we did it in the background a lot. Let's have this one be a little wavier. Still got some branches coming off. A little wavy. Used to be the Black Shroud theme 1.0. Oh, okay.
There we go.
We're to Fat Sharpie. Also, haven't done in a long while.
Oval brush.
I know the feeling for what it's worth.
We'll put a little brighter yellow on it. The old clock on the wall told me I gotta finish this up. Just tap in the indication of all kind of little leaves hanging here.
Okay.
See there?
I think before we go to leaves, we'll do one more branch on that side. I feel like that evens it out nicely. You definitely want a little brighter. A little greener, a little brighter. Yeah, yeah. Feeling that one. Might have gone too green. No. Weird. I may have gone too green. Okay. Kind of droopy leaves over there. There you go. Across there. Bit across there. Nice little tippity top tree. Actually, go a little darker on this one. We've gone too dark, too late. We're committed. Alright. Alright.
It's that easy.
Not used to it. Understandable.
Really do a fantastic little painting.
Sharpie looks very noticeable. Oh yeah, it's very noticeable.
Tell me I got to leave you for this time, but I'll be back. So we'll put a little leaf. Maybe there's one that hangs out right here, like that. I think that pretty well gives us a finished little painting. From all of us here, happy painting. God bless.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna just hide the Bob Ross one for a second so I can full screen it and get like an image on my side without you guys all getting screwed up. Not perfect, but just screen cap it. I'm gonna show that fade out while I screen cap that. Fine. Got it. Cool. I also heard the Sia. I will check that in a second. Probably gonna fall asleep soon. Murphy's sleeping on you already. Good night. Good night as well. Hope you enjoyed. We're gonna try one more because that took almost half the stream, so it seems logical to start a second one. But I'm okay with how the first one came out, and we learned from this one. Season 22, episode 2. All right, cool. I can check it out. It's all on the YouTube channel. This is Viper Pants along with Bob Ross. Attempt number 1. Like, I want to get to the next one quick because I don't want to run out of time. But also, like, I don't know. I feel like it's got strong and weak points. I like the mossy grass down there. I like the foreground trees. I like the wiggly trees in the back. I like the bridge. I feel like the bridge is the best thing I did there. I feel like this middle section is weak. feel like the middle section doesn't have the cohesion. The waterfall came out better than I thought. It's placed weird, but you know. Darker, that's more MS Paint's fault. Yeah, that's fair too. I should have started with more. Maybe I should even. I can't do gradients. Like, I want to start with a gradient, but like, I can't. MS Paint doesn't do gradients. Alright, so I just make sure we saved that, because it is saved. File new. Ooh, yeah, all of a sudden it's bright again. Give this one a go. Should stay centered there.
Hello, welcome back. I'm certainly glad you could join us today. It's a fantastic day here.
Suddenly
I
just-
hope
I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light.
Ooh,
with us.
it's just.
While they're doing that, come on up here. Let me show you what we've got
Okay,
already.
here we go.
We've got our standard old pre-stretched canvas. And I use an 18 by 24, but you use any size that's convenient for you.
I'm going to keep with this
We coated
size,
the
even though I
entire
know it's not
surface
right.
with a
I don't
thin,
care.
even coat of liquid white.
We're
That makes
going
the
to.
canvas wet.
we're making do
slick,
with what we
it's
got.
all ready to go. So I hope you have your oil paints out.
My
You're ready to
gradients.
spend a relaxing half hour.
See what he
Today
gets?
we just do a fantastic little scene that's very pretty and very easy, and we'll just have a good time together.
Ooh, starting with some red. I don't think we used any red last time.
Alizarin crimson.
Ooh,
Just a little,
okay.
pull a little out and tap it
Okay.
into a 2-inch brush. And maybe we'll have a nice warm area in the sky of this little painting. So let's go right up in here.
All right.
And just using our little crisscross strokes, just make little X's. Let it blend with the liquid white. Those colors will just soften and blend automatically. You don't have to worry about it. Use very little color here. We don't want to set this guy on fire. All I want to do is just create a little glow up here.
You don't want to set the world on fire.
Something about like that. Maybe we'll do
Can't
some
unthink it
mountains.
bravely, yeah,
I like
I hope.
mountains, and that's the most single requested thing that
Blend
people write
automatically.
in and say they'd like to see and do. So
Oh, I missed
we'll
that.
do something. We'll take a little. I
wanna
like
get-
mountains, and that's the most single requested thing that
Okay.
that people write in and say they'd like to see and.
They want to see mountains. Okay. So he started with some red. I feel like this is too much of a red, considering he really paints it. Also, I feel like it's closer to this side of red. Like, it's pinker anyway once it ends up on there. This is gonna go poorly. Only because the background I feel is the hardest bit to get on this, because like if I just do wide brush strokes with the red, like it kind of works, but still ends up with just a lot of white space. But it's what we're gonna end up doing. Just gonna approximate some gradients with red. Give or take over here. I have to make sure to send Millie a copy of whatever the second one I do is. I'm gonna send these to YouTube anyway. Like, these are getting saved, because, like, this is something we don't exactly do often. Unless YouTube takes it down for having the Bob Ross thing in the corner, which they could do, I guess, but I've seen other people do stuff like this. Not exactly, but you know. Skip the red unless the final product's gonna be red, since the oil center layer shows up. I'm doing it.
We'll do something. We'll
Doing
take a
it.
little,
Right or
didn't
wrong.
have to clean the brush.
How we
because
going.
Crimson is so weak in comparison to the blue. The blue just eats it up. So we can start right up here, still making our little crisscross strokes. And just laying
Feeling very
a happy little
patriotic
sky.
right now. Red, white, and
That's
blue.
simple. There, just bring it about down to the crimson, and then we'll stop.
It
clean the
already
brush
looks
and blue.
really good.
Otherwise, once again, this blue is so strong, it'll just consume your crimson. It'll go away and leave you.
Consume your
alone.
crimson.
It's just a blue
Crimson consumer.
sky. All right. Tell you what, when we have blue on the brush,
See that already, like, you could stop there and just be like sunset, red cloud, and blue sky, and it's just like, that's great. That's fantastic. That's legitimately wonderful. Damn it. It's too good. It's too good. So I'm gonna try. So we go blue around. I don't want to go too deep on it. Going some blue around the cloud. I don't know how I got a blue in the middle of it. We're gonna ignore that. And I went to about yay. Definitely some overlap. Don't want it to be too blue or too red everywhere. There you go. Crisscross strokes wafer. I would love to. Trust me, I want to.
Brush. Let's put a little water in here. You know me. I love water. Take a little of the phthalo blue and reach right over here and I'll get a touch, just a touch of the phthalo green. It's very, very, very strong. Whew. Be careful with it. And maybe we'll go in here and we'll lay an indication of a little bit of water. Just pull from the outside in, as we normally do. I like to have a little.
Honestly, I feel like this is the hardest part of trying this in MS Paint. I feel like of all the things he does, this is the hardest stuff to duplicate here. It's when I thought about how this would go, I did not think this would be the hardest part to duplicate. I was like, oh, fine details are gonna stink. It's gonna be hard to do. I really feel like this is the stuff that's just like, I can't even. Why doesn't paint have a paintbrush tool? Yeah, I mean, wasn't Mr. Rogers in the military before he was on TV too? Literally impossible. I mean, if you can't do it in MS Paint, it's impossible, right? That's just how it is. So we're looking for slightly greener, watery blue, not quite the sky blue. I think I went a little wrong with this, but let's just see a little test action. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's not terrible. Can we do another? I don't think so. Like, I feel like Crayon is the other one that's closest to it. I don't think that works as well. It kinda works, but kinda not really. And as soon as you go over it a little bit more, all texture is gone. That one's not bad, but it gets those highlighter overlaps, which I don't hate, but they come out looking very bar-y. They're very blocky. So I say we stick with this for now. It is not ideal, but I say it works.
Coming across the water. There. Okay, now then a little bit more of the blue, a little more phthalo green in it. Come from the other side. Just sort of let these come together like that. All right. Now then, let's wash the old brush.
Makes it look so easy. So we go a little bit this way. I will read that in a second. I'm sorry. A mid-paint stroke. Out the door. Gonna have to pass out. Leave you running on TV. Cool, cool. Since we're running public broadcast and all. Hope you enjoyed, Sir Jude. I hope you liked the first one. Get some rest. See you around. He's not using a lot of paint. No. It's just really difficult to duplicate here. It's very difficult to duplicate that look here. Hey, here's some water, but you know, it's very light water. Like, he clearly wants that, like, sunbeam reflection in the middle, but like, how do I capture that? The answer is I don't, so we approximate. I feel like getting this maybe a little, happy accidents. If I were to like accidentally like jerk my arm up and go like, I'd have to get that out of there. But those small little things I'm trying to just embrace and roll with. Smaller things. He clearly leaves a gap. We clearly left a little less of a gap, and that's okay. It's just alright. Try to get a little less of the glaring white down here, because we know not all of it might get covered up. But I'm also trying to go a little quicker this time, just so we can actually try to end somewhere on time. We're finishing this one, don't worry.
This is where we really get crazy. Just odorless thinner, paint thinner, shake off the excess.
Odorless paint thinner sounds baked me.
And just beat the devil out of it. All right.
It's true,
Let's
his
go back
paint
up here where
blends.
the blue and the pink come together.
I can't do this.
Just
I see what he's doing, but I can't do this. Can't. Like, I see what he's doing.
Devil out of it.
So you can't tell where one color stops and the next color starts.
I would love to do that, Bob. I'd love to. It looks fantastic. It truly does, but I can't do that.
That'll bring our water together. But we still have this indication of light zinging right across there.
Yeah, and it looks
Just sliding
fantastic.
across the water.
It looks so good. Okay, so what we're gonna do. Take this, we're gonna lighten it up a smidge. We're gonna just super quick go over it. Just okay. So we still got the lighter channel in the middle, not on the side. Just, you know, speed through. A little lighter on this one too. And just don't want it to be too heavy. We just want to give it a little bit of a blend. That's the best approximation I can do to what he did, and I understand it is not enough. I understand, and I know that's my approximation of what he did.
All
Just
right.
puts, he didn't even, he just, it's a blank brush.
Let's take an old 1-inch brush. I want to put some happy little clouds up here.
Heck yeah, happy little clouds.
And we'll just use a titanium white today. Right on the old 1-inch brush. And maybe we have a little cloud that, yep, he lives right up here. He just floats around the sky and has a good time. Now all we're doing is just sort of tapping and hitting the canvas so you get those nice fluffy little edges. Just little fluffy edges.
I almost feel like I don't even need to do this one. 'Cause like the way this spray tool works, it's almost kind of, oh, hold on. Why don't we get the sky a little more covered then? Maybe that's the answer. Maybe the answer is to fill in more of this white space. We'll play with this. When the temperature increases, he won't be happy for long. Aw, poor cloud. Actually, if the temperature increases enough and it goes over land, it becomes a much bigger cloud. It gets a very storm cloud. Giant Super Saiyan cloud. Say no. Depends. Higher temperatures, higher humidity can have a very positive effect on clouds. The negative effect on people standing underneath the clouds, but the clouds are huge and, you know, having a good time. Let's get a little more of that one in there. Just a little bit of that. Now that we've covered a lot of it, let's see if we can get a little bit of it. The darker sky blue. Alright. Vapor meteorology, yeah.
But sort of round, so it's...
Again, I see what he's doing, and it looks great, but... I think I'm also going to keep the clouds to, like, not quite white either. Like, I know he's using titanium white. I feel like to separate it from the... Not that I want them to look storm cloudy, I just don't want them to look like it's the canvas coming through. We do something like... It actually almost looks too red. It's not looking red. It's just straight up white but grayer. Maybe it's just the surrounding colors making it look that way. It's red. Alright, maybe I just went too dark. Big cloud stripe, yeah, that's fair. That's okay, the big poofy clouds will eventually produce lightning. That doesn't look white or gray. Yeah, it's probably the, like, adjacent red just kind of bleeding over, as it were.
It's got form and shape to it. There we are. And you can begin creating all kinds of little individual effects. Something like that. And we do one
Warp
layer at a
inspection.
time.
Yeah, that
Just
sounds
work on
right.
individual layers. Okay, if that's our first layer. Take a good, clean, dry 2-inch brush and just barely blend it. We want to leave these nice top edges that blend behind it a little bit. See there?
See, the music wants me to go back on the ground, but here I am in the air. That kind of works. Yeah. Blend that one out a bit. Just a little bit. I'm trying to give it some like volume to it. I don't think it's really working. I don't know if that's really reading as cloud, but that's fine. We're gonna roll with it.
Now,
Hey, it does
very
not
light.
match Bob Ross at all.
Just
It's
lift
happy
it
little
up,
landslides.
and it creates a nice little floater up there in the sky. Let me show you something. I get carried away sometimes. I keep seeing things that we could do. Let's take a little alizarin crimson and phthalo blue and mix it together. So we
Oh
have a
man,
really
he's hitting the
light
purple.
color. Watch here.
You know
Leave it
something
on
good's
the
happening when he's
brush.
gonna hit the
Let's go up
purple.
here. Maybe in our world, right back in here, let's just have a few little clouds that they just sort of float around and have a good time. We just sort of call these floaters, for lack of a better word. Some of my friends who fly airplanes will probably tell me the correct name for these, but I just call them little floaters. They just hang around and have a good time. Very gently, go across.
All right. It's definitely not reading cloud. It's just gonna have to accept that. We're moving on. Time has come to continue. Maybe the pencil. Let's go here, but maybe a little darker. Yeah. How does this look? Doesn't look great as the initial, but like over it a little bit. Gets better. No, it's not great. One's better. Honestly, instead of the back and forth, I feel like just the lines in one direction works better. Should we drawing completely unrelated to this? We should try drawing more. Good way to just keep your mind off things, yeah. I mean, you know, sucking at something's the first step of being kind of good at something. That's just how it is. I am not a digital artist, but here I am having fun with it anyway. You know? Bonk. There you go. You know what?
So give us the
Not feeling that
indication of
last
little
one.
things that are floating way back in the distance. Now then, let's really get crazy.
Gonna get crazy.
Yep. Let's just put another big old cloud that lives right in here. And this one comes right down, right over the top of the little floaters that we laid in.
Like, I want to be able to do that. But it doesn't come out looking that way because I use the spray paint tool on the whole background. Maybe if we... That's great. Yeah, see, that doesn't read as cloud. That reads as area I didn't cover in the previous red and yellow, red and blue. Grubs, Bob, smoking sexy style, Ross. We'll try it. But I feel like that's not reading cloud. That's reading blank canvas. Which way? Good call. I like that. Already kinda is, but we can work with that. Stop it from getting that reddish white look. I don't know how good that's working. It's just looking purplish to me, but you know, it's at least reading more cloud-like than blank space-like, so we take these victories. In fact, we'll interspray some over there, too. This is just cloud fingies. This cloud formation is, the scientific name is Cloudicus fingicus. Also, layman's terms, cloud fingies. I was a meteorologist for a while. I was a meteorologist in training. You can trust me. I wouldn't steer you wrong when it comes to cloud fingies. all reality though, while cloud fingies are obviously not a thing, cloud otters basically are. There's a very rare type of cloud. Oh, it starts with an M, and I don't remember the actual name of it. Mamadas, I think, something like that. That basically look like either rolling waves or like cloud otters in the sky, depending on like your location and like angle on them. That's an actual real thing. Cloud fingies I've made up right now because screw it, cloud fingies. Just a smidge darker on it. I'm never lead you wrong. Cloud fingies. It's a top tier quote. Top tier.
It just sort of maybe comes right out about like that. I don't know. In your world, you put clouds wherever you want them. Wherever you want them.
Do kind of like the idea of some coming a little higher up.
This
It still doesn't read as
one of
cloud.
the freest painting techniques I've ever been exposed to. It allows you to do anything that you want. Anything.
Well, we're gonna roll with it. Stuff ends up getting so layered, who the hell even knows at the end of the day, right?
Blend that a little.
But I'm not seeing it read as cloud.
Blend it a great deal, just enough to blend the base of it a little. And very lightly.
Give it a little fluff to it.
Blend it, bring it together. But look at that. There's such a mass of clouds and there's so much depth in there.
I feel like the little bit of white to the bluish white gives it some more cloud readability.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you.
That's true. That's true too. So I'm not going to overthink it now too much. We're going to just let it go.
We're going to have some mountains today, we decided.
Heck yeah,
Let's take
mountains.
some black. We use a little depression blue, some Van Dyke brown, alizarin crimson, whatever.
Whatever.
Dark color.
Get a
Sort of
dark
blue
color.
base to it. Blue or lavender base.
It's a scientific
Cut
process.
across, get our little roll of paint. Let's come right up in here, maybe right there. Just make a decision where you think the old mountains would live in your world.
So a dark bluish with some other, brown or whatever it's in there. I want it to be dark. I don't want it to be like straight black. I don't know how to get the like browner blues that he's going with. That ends up going purplish. Maybe somewhere like there, like more like a... Maybe. It's got something with like an edge on it, so we need something like this. Okay, I don't know where I'm going to put it yet, but that looks like a good spot, or a good tool for it. Looks like he started about yay. I have no idea where the hell I want mine to be, but you know what? I see no reason not to cut across these a little bit. All right.
Decide where the peaks are and all the valleys. It's what makes painting so much fun. Is you get to control your world. Oh, this is pure raw power here.
See, like, I gotta go over mine with some white to get those highlights, but that's just palette knife. He's just palette knifing, and it works. Because he can do that. Because he's Bob Mother Flippin' Ross. You don't need no added weight to his nonsense. Nah. Bob Ross. It's fine. We're gonna say that's how ours look. It's not quite. I'm gonna say it drags down a little that way. A little that way. A little smaller one. There you go. Raw power. It's a very odd brush choice, but it kind of works. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's... I know why it works for him. I understand why it works for him and why it's not working for me, but it doesn't mean I'm not envious of it. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible. Try that one. Who's putting these stops in it? I don't want the stops in it. Is that my hand? You know what? It still gives it some amount of a brush look. So we'll go with that. It's not perfectly capturing his technique, obviously. But I feel like it gives us some amount of mountain power going on, right? Some of that mountainous vibe to it. I'm liking that.
When I go home, all I can do is, you know, the only power I have is over the garbage. That's mine. It waits for me, and I get to take it out. But on this canvas, I can do anything.
He goes a little more like sideways. Okay, I can keep the mountains going a little sideways.
Here.
I was trying to be a little conservative with it, but I dig that.
I spent half my life in the military. And I would play soldier all day. Then at night I would come home. And this painting was a way of finding a world that was full of peace, and it was calm.
All right. I didn't want to cut him off, but I do want to not let him get too far ahead of me. I feel like I got a good style going here. The Okami Mountains, as Grim is saying, and I agree, they're kind of the Okami Mountains. That one? Yeah, that one. No, I'm going to say one more kind of sizable one over here. I don't know how that overlap works, but don't worry about it, it's fine. Let's get blustery out again. I didn't plan for these mountains to go full Okami, but I'm very happy that they have. Kind of trying to intentionally leave just a smidge at the top, like the White Cap Mountain look. And I'm also trying to keep that, like, vertical line down them, kinda, as we paint down the sides of them. I think I went a little too down. His is kind of further up, but whatever. We know the canvas size is different. It's been the case this whole time. More accents on it. We're gonna work with it. We're gonna have fun with it. Keep going with it. Not bad. Definitely ended up going larger than he did, but whatever.
Okay, let's just take a 2-inch brush, pull that out, and let it just blend at the base. There, see how soft that base becomes? Just like so.
Blend it out.
Okay, just keep pulling it. This is also an excellent way to sort of lay out and shape your mountains, because you can see these brush strokes in here, and you're not committed. Sort of a way of cheating a little. That's not
It
cheating.
brings it out a
That's
little
the way
more. I don't know
to
if
make it
mine
easier for
getting
you.
brought out as much
There
as
we are. No
helpful,
such thing
but
as cheating in painting. If it works, if it makes you happy, then it's good.
no such thing as cheating and
Painting is
painting.
good.
Let's see, he knows.
The only rule in painting is that there are no rules.
He's telling it like it
Individual
is.
thing. Individual. And everybody sees nature through different eyes. And painting is a way of putting your expression on canvas. So enjoy it. Let's take some titanium white. Shoot, let's have
I'm
some
liking
quick
it as
fun
it
today.
is. I want to see where he goes with it from here. We can always adjust a
Our little
bit.
roll
But
of paint as usual. Now we can go up in here and let's begin laying in some little highlights.
okay,
Let
highlights.
that knife just sort of bounce and wiggle and jiggle. Just have fun. Think where little things would live, where you want little peaks and valleys. You need a little home for the mountain goats. Choom.
Gotta have the homes for the mountain goats.
There. There's all kind of little creatures that live up in here, and just have a good time. Okay.
All right, I feel like I tried to get some of that
There.
look
Just let it
with
flow.
the brush
No
strokes
pressure.
here. We're just going to do some with the white.
Absolutely no pressure. And in your mind, just think nothing's touching the canvas but that little roll of paint. The knife is not even touching. If you let the knife touch, then you, as Steve, my son, says, you mush the paint. That means you flatten it out and squish it. Steve and I have been known to make up words sometimes, so
Just suddenly mountains.
that's one that he's made up and uses. But people
Like, it's
understand what he's saying. He
insane
teaches.
how good
He
that
travels all over the
looks.
country
Like,
teaching. God, he teaches
I
really thousands
I
of
can
people.
understand what he's doing and the
There. So he
technical
gets to your age.
simplicity of what he's doing, but you look at the outcome of it and you're just like, it's nutty. It's nutty. All right, so we're once again gonna try to go not all white if possible. I'm gonna see what it looks like with this brush. I don't know if it's what I'm gonna end up going with. No. Also, I think we are just gonna go. I don't want to go full white though. It just makes it look like. Oh yeah, if you blinked potions, yeah. Is that a good enough look for it? Do kind of bring that a little further down. I feel like it works. Still kind of gives us that central line to a degree. Kind of keeps the snow on like one side of things. Let's just kind of go over those top bits a little more if we need to. That one actually already looks good. I don't want to touch that one. I don't think mine doesn't look as good. It can't. It's impossible. Like, oh man. He's going blue now. Let's see what the blue's going. Red, light blue.
You'll find him to be a joy to be with. Okay, little of the phthalo blue and white. Little roll of paint on the knife, and let's just lay in the indication here and there of some little shadow areas.
Stupid how good that looks. It's insane how good that looks. Just instant shadowed snow on the mountain. Just, oh my god, it's insane. Alright, let's go white with a little bit of blue. Truly mind-boggling. Ooh, alright. I feel like he was like there. Mostly white, but just a little bit of blue. It's fairly important. I don't know. I'm gonna get this wrong, probably. It doesn't read immediately as shadowy as his does, but, you know, I feel like it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I definitely don't hate it, but it doesn't just immediately pop as, like, that's the Snow Shadow, like his does. But, you know, it's hard to compare yourself to Bob Heckin Ross, so that's how it is. A little bit of, let's say this whole one's kind of in shadow. It's kind of behind. You know, now that I got it up there and taken a step back, it doesn't look as bad, but it's still not as good as heckin'. After you restart your internet? Oh, no worries. All good.
You don't want a whole bunch of color there, just where you think you'd be.
Yeah, I haven't been meaning to, like, not do Divinity, but, you know, games, Bravely specifically, and now Monster Hunter. We are not dropping Divinity, but that's clearly going to be a hiatus.
That first one back. Sneaky, huh? There. Let it go. And just a little touch over in here. Now,
I honestly feel like I went a
sometimes
little too hard with it here.
you've done this, and let's break that up.
Let's. That's the previous one we used, so if we're trying to break it up a little bit, here. I'll also even go here. Give it a little less of that hard. Man, you know, knows who's talking about. Even the MS Paint version's looking kind of okay. Looking kind of alright, guys. In MS Paint. Actually, probably need to do a little more over there, but whatever. Starting to actually almost read as shadow snow on mountains. I feel like this is the mountain I did right. These are okay. This is the one I did right. A little bit up there. Smidge. Just that smidge, yeah. I know I'm trying not to control Z often, but I really like the layers of that one. Also, hey, Vigil, welcome to back into the chat. How's it going tonight? Thank you. This is clearly my first attempt using MS Paint, but I'm having fun with this. We finished one earlier. This is our second one.
Now you can see
We're having a good time with it. Hope you're having a good night.
And little things like that will make your painting special. But you need
Honestly,
shadow back here.
I'm proud of how that little layered bit and this mountain. I feel like these two,
Every highlight
I
needs
got
its own shadow.
decent. The rest of them, I don't hate them. They're not bad. I don't hate them, but hold on. Let me actually over here. I kind of feel like I went a little. Oop, not one of that. Kind of went a little too much with it. I don't think the snow would go quite that far down. That works though. And I wanted a little bit more over there. Probably it doesn't reach all the way. Okay. This in real life, you just paint back over it.
There we are. Now then, let's get a clean one. There we are. I've got
I
some
definitely put
brushes
mine too
over
low
here.
though.
We'll just take an old 2-inch brush and gently tap, following the angles in the mountain, as usual. Lift upward.
I'm trying to, like, part of me wants to kind of like lightly spray over it, but part of me just kind of, I like the way mine looks. I can't blend it like he can just because of the mediums.
To create the illusion of mist.
I kind of like the mountains. I kind of don't want to mess with them. If we end up doing stuff over them, cool, but
It's a heck of a range of mountains.
my
to
instinct is
blend
like,
into, and you can do
no, spray paint. It's like, no, I gotta step away. They look
practice a little bit. Be sure you have
look
the right
good.
weight.
I'm happy with the mountains.
It really does. That's the one thing that I hear over and over when people say they're having trouble we always nearly trace it back to the fact that the paint is thin, and you really have to have a very firm paint to be able to paint wet on wet or layer on top of layers. There we go. Let's take a little, we'll just use that mountain color. I've added a little Van Dyke brown, put a little white in it.
Blend a light mist in MSP. Yeah,
touch of the
okay.
sap green, not much, just a little.
A little bit of green, a little bit of brown. All right, where are you going with this?
White.
It's really cool to see mixed colors,
sort of
but then it's
nice
really hard to try to
grayish
take
brown
that
color.
and apply
Like
it to that.
Let me wipe the old knife. Let's grab us a fan brush. Okay,
His
we'll
work
color
with
that
fan brush
color
is
in fan
insane,
brush.
but it's very hard to do in
Well,
MS Paint.
Maybe there lives, boy there does now, just some happy little trees back in here. These little
Suddenly
trees would
this
be
is
a
the
super
forest.
place for my little squirrel. If you've painted with me before, you know I have all kind of little creature pets. I'm going to share with you today my latest little squirrel that's living with me. He is the most precious little
Oh,
thing.
okay.
You have to force him to eat, see? We call him Peapod the pocket squirrel because he would live in your pocket forever.
Peapod the pocket squirrel
One
is
of my
the best part of
neighbors,
tonight's
young man named
stream.
Dennis lives down the street from me, found him
Hands down.
and brought him to me. And he lives with me now. I think I have 5 squirrels right now and 2 crows.
It is 5 squirrels, 2
This little squirrel will be
crows.
ready to turn loose here in just a few more weeks, and he'll go back to nature and he'll have a good time. And these
See, I
things
see what
usually-
he did. I don't know how I'm going to duplicate that, but I feel like that's been the overarching theme of tonight. I can see what he did. I can parse what he did. How do we do what he did? Let's start from like there. It's a really reddish brown. It's like the same red. So that's all just going the same line, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Feeling that. What color do you get from mixing the ones he mixes? Yeah. I try to. Like, again, that looks kind of like the crayon tool to me. I feel like if I just do crayon, and I just get a smaller size, and I just do down, I feel like that approximates it. If I do layers, it just turns straight. Alright. Let's try some trees, yo. I don't want to... I'm going to end up overlapping some of the mountain, which is going to work fine, but I don't want to go too low, because he's clearly going to do something with the space, and we put too much space with the cloud. I should have moved the whole right... Like, these mountains should have just been higher. Rookie mistake, whatever, it's how it is. The mountain should have been higher. It's okay. He's going to read his trees at all. This we might have to like lightly spray over. Get a bunch of like different sized heights going in here. I feel like from there, roughly over this way. Yeah, now I'm just laying out general where it's going to go. Fill with some lines. How far
I usually
did
stay
you go?
around the house when I turn.
Also,
the
hey
house.
Archie, welcome to Viperland in the
I
chat.
get to enjoy 'em
Welcome
sometime
to
for
Art.
years and
How you
years
doing
and
tonight?
years.
We got our Bob Ross hat.
There.
Yeah, Bob Ross himself. Being Bob Ross. I feel like we're gonna go to about yay, which means a ton of lines. So if we do a bunch of lines all up in here, one really tall one, cool. Didn't really plan that, just how the rest has decided to go. Two tall ones there. I don't know if his read is trees. I don't know if this is going to read as trees. Well, I'm going to give a light spray over it. See if that helps. Spray tool is the best I got for blending stuff. And while I didn't want to blend the mountains, I do kind of want to blend the trees. Give a little like foggy look to it. See, I wanted this but lighter. Let's just give it a look at how that's going to look if we go. Nope, that's not it. It's kind of okay if we just go a little more sparing with it. Just to kind of blend them. Maybe be trees. I don't know if this is really working, but I'm sure they're going to end up with some sort of layers over them for like something anyway, so I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It's just to try and blend them a little more than just, it's a vapor drew a few crayon lines. Do a little more like, oh, there's a little bit like a, you know, forest fuzz over it. Haze in the distance. I'm not feeling super great with it, but just finished DMing today. Very nice. Hope that went well. I have no desire to DM myself, but at the same time, I have great respect for those who
We
can.
have just an indication back here of just some little trees that are living far back here in the distance.
Crap, I refuse. I refuse. Give it, you know what, let's give it a slight greenish. I don't know if that's something he's going to do, but I feel like just a slight, that's a little much. Slightest hint of it having some green to it. It's still brown lines. There's some sense of like a misty green coming through. That's where I'm going to stop at the forest.
Sometimes, watch here, let's have some fun. Take a little of that same mountain color.
Oh yeah, no.
Right in here, come right in here.
There are ways to do this
Just
better.
Stone.
If you want to actually try some digital painting, even if you don't have tablets, tools, whatever, there are ways to do this better.
The big mountain up here.
I've decided MS Paint's the way we're doing it, though.
Treat it well.
I understand that this is...
It's Big Brother right above it. Okay.
Oh yeah, GIMP is a great free software.
I'm going to add the least little touch of Van Dyke Brown in the white.
Legitimately, it's free, it works wonders, it's fantastic. There are other great free softwares out there that I don't know the names of off the top of my head. You can absolutely find these things, but I specifically am, you know, holding myself back. Okay, so he's going back to the mountain colors. Let's bring it a little darker for foreground. Not a lot, but just a little darker. Go back to our heckin' paint and brush, wherever that went. Excuse me. I'm gonna go a little less on these than he does, or a little more horizontal on these than he does. Which is actually probably about exactly as horizontal as he's going with his. And then we should still have our snow and shadow colors, right? Well, hold on. Let's first go back to our Okami mountain brush. Get a little bit of that action going on. I feel like I should go enough to get the bottoms of the trees, right? A little bit like peace out, it's fine. But I feel like our general idea is cover the bases of the trees. Even though we're definitely going too low. Just on the canvas. Well, foreground stuff will probably end up overwriting some of this anyway, so it's fine. Good enough there. We got our nice white snowy mountains. Looking snow-tastic. Could probably go for... do you know what? We started it smaller. We're sticking with it smaller. That's what we're doing. I'm gonna say that continues on over there. That wiggly lines going on. Some of that shaded blue. Not liking this one quite as much, but we can add some touches to it. Not feeling it quite as much, but you know. Bit of white back in there, overlap a little. I don't hate it. It's not quite thinking it's as good. Good thing is we kind of add just the sense of a little shadow over there. Just doing that. Say there was a peak there, even though there might not have been. Yeah, I'm liking that.
Rough.
Let him do his thing. Back with internet and food. Ooh, double whammy. Very nice.
In there. A little bit right in there. That's what my dog said when he sat down in the sandpaper. He said, rough. There. All right.
That's what my dog said when he sat down on the sandpaper. Rough.
Just tap a little bit of mist right at the base of that. I don't want much.
Man.
We'll have some big trees.
Didn't see that one
That'll
coming.
help push it back. You can also, I'm going to dull that same, take a little brown, phthalo blue and white, and make a little shadow color.
Oh.
But I want it duller than the one up high. Just put the indication here and there of a little shadow that lives back in there. Have to have a little shadow.
He went a little subtler on the shadow. I went full shadow.
Let's clean this off a little spot.
Thank you, Mint. I'm digging them. I think they look pretty
Around
good.
the room sometime. That's what happens when you paint with big brushes and big knives. Let's take some black, some Prussian blue. I'm gonna put some phthalo green in there, maybe a little brown and crimson. What the heck? Just a little bit of everything. Good dark color. Okay,
Yeah,
white
bit of
with a
everything.
little knife. And I have several fan brushes going, so I'll grab another one. And on this one, we're gonna put this very dark color. And let's put some little evergreens that live in our world. They live. I think they live right there. And this is the easiest way I've ever seen of making little trees that look like they're far, far away. Because you don't want too much detail. If you get too much detail, then you lose that illusion of distance. When things are far away. you
If
don't
these
see a lot of
puns don't
detail.
kill you,
You see
I
changes in color
will.
or shape, but not a lot of detail. Maybe, tell you what, maybe we'll take a 1-inch brush.
Yeah, well, I swear we had beep boop meow, but we also had a fourth one, didn't we? Is it puns?
Loathing of puns detected. Activating pun mode.
I knew there was one. I should have made it pun, but I did puns. Alright, so he went another darkish color like that one, but leaning a bit into the greener side. Greenish color for like an evergreen. Then I guess we go back to crayon mode. Crayon mode has served us well. It served us.
I'm good.
It served us. It's about what we got for it, actually. feel like those automatically just read slightly more like trees. Even if not perfect, I feel like they read slightly more like trees.
We'll just pop in a few bushes that live right here. Same color. A few little bushes live right out here in front of us. Like that. So you can just see that little stone that's just...
Alright. I'm gonna get some amount of forest up in here. You know what? I'm gonna have mine go a little further to the side than that one did. Alright, thanks for the comfy stream. Have a good time. See you around, Topaz. Hope you enjoyed some painting and Bob Rossin action we had going on tonight. Rest up. See you next time. See you around. Ooh, that was way too low. We're kind of going to spray paint over the bottom of this stuff anyway, but you know. It'd be so much easier if I had a fan brush. Just take the fan brush to my monitor and it's just, you know, a little hog wild. It's okay. Hit that big honkin'. Got some bushes. Maybe a light pass over the actual trees. Very light pass. We'll blend in some heckin' bushes down here. Definitely gonna run out of space at the bottom of the screen. Like, I already know that's gonna happen. We all know that's gonna happen. I'm trying to mitigate it, but not enough.
It's peeking at you.
That's true. The clouds are automatically looking cloudier. You're not wrong.
1-inch brush into liquid
Yeah.
white.
Oh, that's a good call. Toss at least some in there that are noticeably taller. I think I got a lot of them fairly similar. Honk. 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 And you know what? One super tall one over here. Still not perfect, but it gives a little more depth. Yeah.
Oh, be right back. Get a little sap green. A little sap green, maybe a little darker. There we go. A little yellow ochre. And eventually I'll use the Indian yellow here and pretty soon little touches of red, bright red. Now then, let's pick out our little trees and bushes that live back here. There's one. Just push sort of upward. Just give it a little upward push. This is one of many ways of making beautiful little bushes. Sometimes we use a little round.
Alright, I like this, I like this. Start with the same green we've got. Bring it more to the yellow side. I feel like he goes more yellow than I want to go. So we're gonna go about yay. See it? But the hand he's holding the palette with is missing a finger. Oh, did not know that. Yeah. Would not have guessed. Like spray paint's our best bet for this one. Right? Where's it crayon again? If we go in another one of our... I should probably want a slightly thicker line. If we're going for one of our patented all upward branches bushes. A little bit of being able to see the background color. Honestly, this is kind of working too. A little swoop. A little spray over that. Honestly, what might be the best way to spray over that is go over a bunch of it, then go back over it with this. It's not great, but whatever. Just a little bit of that guy.
Brown brush. Oh, there's one that's got more Indian yellow and yellow ochre in it. So it's got a little different flavor.
Tsukiyomi's Night Bloom. Oh, man, yeah.
Just a bright red right on the tip will make it look like there's flowers back here on these trees. That's sort of nice.
I mean, he's left a hell of a legacy.
Okay, now.
For
let's have some
sure.
fun. Let's grab the very bottom of that and pull straight down.
Can't
Just
do
straight
that, Pup.
I want a dark color down here. Very dark color. There. Okay.
So good. It just makes it look like reflections on water, and it's amazing, and I
Yeah,
can't do that. I can't. There's no MS Paint equivalent to that. At all. Like, hard stop, there's not. Alright. Just gonna, you know. You know what? Oh, he was a fellow Floridian. Oh, okay. And that's wet. You know what? They should make that just for people who want to paint along with Bob Ross. They should totally make that for this reason and this reason alone. Yeah, we've reached the bottom of the canvas too, which is not great. I don't think this is going to read as reflection because it's the same heckin' thing. Don't think we're going to be reading as reflection here. But we're going to do what we can. What Bob would do. What he can. Yeah, it's good enough. He merely went home. And changed the size of the canvas. Yeah, I'm aware of that, but we're committed now. Like, I know you're right. But, to be fair, I don't know too much of him beyond what we've talked about tonight. But I also know I could use better art programs, too. We're working with the limitations we got. Stupid though they might be. Self-imposed though they might be.
And then go into titanium white and the least little touch of phthalo blue in it. Very little of the phthalo blue. I dipped it in the liquid white to make the paint thinner, because a thin paint will slide right over the top of a very thick paint without mixing, or just mixing a little bit, depending on
Oh,
how
that
much
might help.
you put. Maybe there's a little waterfall that lives right up in there. And we'll just push in some happy little things, and the water plays right along here. See there? Just let it play though, and maybe, bloop, maybe there's another little thing there.
So going for the lightish blue, probably like this, but maybe even lighter. We're gonna get our favorite edge tool again. Is this the one we want? Yeah, it'll work. I don't know if this is drastically better, if it's going to help it read as a reflection, but it's no worse. And you know, sometimes that's what you gotta do. No worse. That works.
There's all
Say
kinds of
edge.
little stones and rocks
Yeah.
in here that create
Sometimes gotta go full
bumps.
edgelord.
Just
It's important.
places
Not
where
always. You can't always go full edgelord. That can be too much.
make up little stories. and think about this
Sometimes.
just floating right down here.
Edgelord is what you gotta do.
Those little noises. That really helps. That really helps. That just sort of wanders.
I liked Catherine. I never beat Catherine. And that's a game that beat me. It wasn't, I wandered off, got tired. No, that game beat me.
Let's take. Oh, there it is. Lost my brush.
It's a
You get
block
naive
puzzle.
sometimes,
It's a
just
block
slip
pushing
away
puzzle game.
sometime. You have to go looking for it.
And
Let's take.
sometimes if you line up blocks the right way so it's only the edge of it, the announcer just says edge.
And I want to push that little waterfall way back.
No,
in
it's
there.
exclusively in the
Look at
puzzle aspect of
indication
it.
here
But
some more little trees that live back in the background. And all we're doing is just tapping downward.
more
Just
trees.
tapping downward. And don't let these become too symmetrical or just alike. Have different shapes here. Otherwise they'll begin looking, oh, they'll look like it just came out of a copy machine. Trees are different. They're not all straight, they're not all crooked.
See what he's doing. We'll try. We got that one. It's that one. That's the only reason. Back to our handy dandy crayon, I suppose. Well, the next size up. We're gonna say these are closer trees. These are meant to be something a little closer to. See, he's got layers and stuff to his. Mine just look like a bunch of straight lines. I'll have to blur the or fuzz the bottom a bit. I see. He's just too good. You can't best the bob. Grand tool is not super ideal for these. It's a little late, but I wonder if this would work better. I don't know if better is the right way of putting it. Works differently. Honestly, pros and cons to both. Kind of what I'm seeing. Let's get that heckin' spray can. Spray that bottom level a little bit. Blend it a smidge. Blur it a smidge. Don't think that's actually helping a ton. But it's okay.
They're like people.
Heroes of Tonight, yes. Honestly, And the airbrush
so
tool.
Fantastic.
just as a way to fix things.
As I say, it's like people. Can you imagine how boring the world would be if everybody was just alike?
I suppose. It's going a little darker in there. We can try this one. Get the brush in there. Might be too dark. Let's just go this one. Goes pretty dark. Well, you know, it works. Get some vibe of undergrowth going on. Get a little bit of vertical leafiness. Just a smidge. Go up a little higher up there, a little higher up there. Some in the mid-forest, but not crazy. I haven't really found a good way for doing paint version of his trees yet, I feel.
Different looks. That's what makes it interesting. And it's the same when you're doing paintings.
We got a lot.
Enjoy the difference.
I feel like we got his mountains pretty down.
Maybe. Tell you what.
Not perfect. I'm not saying there's no room for improvement, because that's insanity. But I feel like we got the basics of his mountains, kind of. Trees, just have a vague approximation of them. This is me attempting to make that, like, reflection in the water with what little water we've got left. Just a little bit of... It almost kind of looks like it's a whole waterfall, but it makes me wonder what the trees are sitting on. But it almost looks like water is like pouring down from around the trees. To me. It does remind me to go a little bluer with that. And try to airbrush over here a smidgen. Ew, way too blue. Just wanted to mix up that blue a smidge. That wasn't blue enough. That's fine. Forest can flood. Also factual. Good point. This is a very fine line over here. Also, I need to go big. Just little tiny details there to break up the lines a little bit. I like that water line. I'm just trying to break it up a smidgen. Alright.
We got the little brush going.
True. Well, we roll with it.
Stand back and take a look. In our world, there is now, a big bush that lives right here. Like that. And we're just pushing upward with this 1-inch brush. Just to make all those little trees and stuff that live in there. There we are.
Alright.
Okay. Just drop those in. And at the same time, I'm going to reverse the brush and tap downward. And that'll end up, if all goes well, that'll end up being our little reflections in the water. Just like that.
Reverse the brush paper. Yeah, I'll get right on that. Let me get right on that. So we probably want this, but maybe a little lighter. I feel like the bush is going to be a smidgen lighter. I want to go nuts with it, but I do want a smidge. A little greener. Yeah, a little greener. Maybe even actually still dark, but a little greener. Yeah, okay. We're gonna... I don't even...
Take a 2-inch brush. And at the same time,
He started kind of going over stuff. Cashews? Those do sound delicious. I enjoy many varieties of nuts. I feel like cashews, pistachios, macadamias, almonds are good, but I feel like they're just kind of almost like filler nuts. Like, they're good, I don't hate them, but I'm never going to go and seek out almonds. This is a very mountainous tree we're making here. Pistachios, I love pistachios. I could never have them already out of the shell. It's like, for me, part of it is like cracking them open. Like the work, the finger pain, that's part of it to me. Yes, it's weird. I understand that. Trust me, I get it. Pecans. Pecans are good. Cannot dispute. I feel like everybody agrees cashews are just the king of nuts, though. Cashews are just... Walnuts are good. I agree. And you know what? Roasted chestnuts. Honestly, roasted chestnuts. Very, very tasty. Like those a lot. feel like we kind of made a very mountainous top, but whatever. It's our bush. We can do what we want, right? Honey roasted peanuts. Honey roasted peanuts. I see peanuts. I like peanuts a lot. I like a lot of what peanuts do, what peanuts are in. Love peanut butter. Love peanut like brittle. There's a lot of good peanut related stuff out there. But when I think of nuts I like, I don't often just say peanuts. I think other nuts for some reason. Even though peanuts should be on that list. They're delicious. Sunflower seeds? Oh yeah, those are good. What's wrong with those?
Reverse the brush and tap
Whereas I
downward.
feel the exact opposite about sunflowers as I do about
Pull
pistachios.
those
Gotta
in.
have those out of the
Right,
seeds,
and
out of the
a
shells.
little reflection
And no,
from
ain't
the
nobody got
brush.
time to.
Just
Ain't nobody
like
got time for that. Gotta have those already shelled.
All right.
Can't have pistachio shelled. Takes the fun out of it. Have to have sunflower
Grab those
seed shells.
reflections, pull 'em
Nobody's
straight
got
down.
time for that.
Straight down.
That's how I stand on it at least.
Just won't look right. It'll bother your eye when you look at it. Same thing on the other side.
Like I see what he's doing, and I wish I could do that.
And that
It would help,
instant
but I can't do that.
reflections. Now we can go back, take a little of the black, a little midnight
I'd be
black
curious to
and
try
put
this
it together.
again
It's
in like
beautiful.
Photoshop, but I don't really know
Color.
Photoshop super well. It has a ton more
Brush in one direction,
options,
loading it full of
obviously,
color. Look at all the paint.
but
Good. Let's go up here.
I don't
Now let's
know
go
those
back in
options
here
all super
and begin
well.
Picking out individual bushes and trees that hide back here. And I'll reload
Okay.
the brush continually.
So we're going with the same-ish color we did earlier. That was this one? No. Yeah, that's that color. Okay. It's not a great bush, but whatever. Get a little bit of that down here in the reflection. Just a smidgen. All right. This one's a lot of trees, and I feel like we just don't got the tree methodology down really well.
Just change the
When are you gonna
flavor
get these
of it,
printed?
adding a little
Oh,
more
yeah.
ochre, a little more green.
Oh,
whatever it
totally.
takes. Just so there's a little variation in color.
Printing and framed in the
There.
background of the webcam.
Okay.
Get right on
It's
that.
fun to put a little red out in the
Mhm.
tip. As I mentioned earlier, make those bushes that look like they have little red flowers hanging out here on them.
You mad man. Little red flowers hanging out on them. See if we can't go. Doesn't read like his does. Just doesn't. It's like we can try his but redder, but like what even is that? What even is his but redder? Well, we put some little happy red flowers on that one.
There. On the other
MS
side,
Painting,
we
yep.
can do
Also,
the
hey,
same thing.
Penguin,
We're
welcome to
gonna
Paper Lane in the
silver
chat.
brush.
How you doing? We got MS
Take
Paint, we
the
got Bob
paint
Ross.
thinner to the paint. Make it a
We're
little
doing what
thinner.
we can. We painting, yo.
Paint. Once again, we'll stick to thicker paint. But if the thickest paint is on the brush when you go to do.
Alright. Let's go in a little bit of bushes over here too. Definitely doesn't read quite as bush-like as his does, but that's okay. Man, as time has gone on, these suddenly look more like clouds. That still looks like cloud fingies, but I'm definitely digging how those have started to, by comparison, read much better as clouds. Still think the mountains are the high point of this. I mean, high point mountains, but like in general of like how I'm doing, I feel like I'm proud of the mountains. Those are the thing I did tonight that I was like, yeah, I got that one fairly close.
Do this, it'll just pull the paint off the canvas onto your brush. So if you do this and you begin getting a lot of color off the canvas, check to be sure that the paint on your brush is thinner than the paint on the canvas. It's really all it amounts to.
I can go a little darker over here, so maybe it looks a little different than the background bushes.
And maybe right there lives another one. Working layers, always completing the most distant one first and coming forward, forward, forward. Now, maybe, let's take some Van Dyke Brown, get crazy. Maybe in our world there's a nice little stone that lives right in here.
I like what he's doing. I don't have space for it, so
There's got to be a place to hold
his happy stones
nice greenery up so it doesn't
aren't
fall
really
in.
coming into my painting.
Might be a little beaver or something lives here. It'd scare him to death.
It looks great. I love what he's
I
doing.
enjoy seeing my little creatures. I am so crazy
I,
about some of these
per usual, don't
creatures.
have enough. You know what? Maybe a little. Just a little.
I have one that we call Squirrely Girly Brown.
Over here, it'll
She's
work a
a
little better,
mess.
actually.
Well, that little
Over here. Trees. You're correct. I absolutely could. I absolutely could. I feel like Van Dyke Brown starts about yay and gets a little brownier. What do we do for that one? I don't want to do this. I still kind of want to keep that line of the water reflection a little bit, if possible. Oh man. Oh guys, that's another game we don't play nearly enough of. I may have linked a few of those clips to my Among Us Discord earlier. Man, Fall Guys is good. This is kind of a slow, tedious process, but I feel like it's kind of working in terms of getting us a little rockiness over here. A little bit of land. I'm not quite sure if the reading as rocks, but even if it reads as, you know, dirt, I guess that kind of works. Well, maybe say let me step back. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't know if that actually makes it any better. A little lighter. Just a little bit of accents on some of it. A little better. Maybe some over here. I mean, you know, I I made sure to also post the clip of you rocket launching me off of the train, so you know, even. Wait until the areas in the game were OSHA compliant. Alright, let's...
Squirrel something else. She's just about ready to turn loose. She's full grown now. She's been with me for, oh, I guess 8 or 9 months. She is something else. And she hides nuts all over my house. The other day I went fishing with a friend and I went to put on my fishing shoes and there was a pecan in the toe. You ever put your shoe on and somebody's put something in the end of it? Certainly get your attention.
I like,
a little white.
like that his pet squirrels hide nuts all over his house.
Let's just go up here and just touch and bounce. And
We'll get to that in a second. That might add the little bit. I added the brown. He might have been on, go figure, Bob Ross knows better. He might have been on the better path of adding a little bit of Snow White to it. Maybe, just maybe, Bob Ross knows what he's doing. Oop. Definitely didn't grab the corner of OBS or anything. Again. Painting on this side is dangerous. All right. Okay, okay. How do you housebreak a squirrel? I don't know. So what did he even grab for that?
Let's take a little white, a little bit of the dark sienna. Let's just go up here and just touch.
Honestly, pretty close to what we were using for the highlights earlier. I'm going to say that'll probably work. That works. There you go. Kind of makes it look like there's more wider swaths of snow. We don't want it everywhere, obviously. Probably around the bits where we added those highlights. Maybe not even everywhere there. Leave some of those alone.
And bounce. And we're just going to put the indication of some nice little things that are happening right along in here. But leave a dark area underneath, and I'll show you why in a minute. Let's do the other side.
I didn't leave the dark area underneath, and that's on me. We'll try to leave it over this side. All right, we'll go with that.
Dark area underneath, because we want this to be deep, have height to it. Okay, wipe the knife, and we'll grab just the base of that and pull a little tiny bit of that color down using the small edge of the knife. Or sometimes I just use a small knife, depending on how you feel at that moment. But it'll create the illusion that this is thick. It's not just coming out there.
Sometimes got to make the illusion of thickness.
Change angles now and then.
Yeah. I can't, there's nothing I can do of that equivalence. Or is there? We go here. Here. Go just the slightest bit lighter. That might be too light. with that. Don't know if this is the way to do it. Don't know if this is gonna look good at the end of the day. But it's late. I'm tired. We're getting close to done. I'm willing to gamble on it and see. Man, my arm is just like, could we stop doing 1 million downward strokes, please? Can we do anything else besides click, hold, pull down 1.5 million times? I'm like, yes, eventually. We must finish first. We must suffer for your art with a repetitive strain injury. Bob Ross was an Asian all along. Alright. I don't think this is coming out that great, but committed to it. That's too many Control Z's to do. For better or worse, this is what it's doing. Well, I can at least say it stops there. It's a fairly logical stopping point for it. Okay, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
White, lay it out here. I'm going to get a fan brush. Put a little of that on it. That's just liquid white on the fan brush.
Yeah, I can't do much else with the water. I feel like my water is pretty where it's got to be. I can't get those smooth blends. Those look amazing. We got the sprayed white, and it works.
We got just a second left here. Put in a happy little.
Let's actually go a little. When I click off, it doesn't immediately click back when I click back. Let's go maybe a little highlight down there to try to separate some of the water visually. Looks like it might actually be water reflecting things. Even though it doesn't reflect the rocks, we can just say that's because, you know, it's foamy on the shore.
It's magic.
Oop, too much there. Oop, a little too low there. I think that added quite a bit to it, honestly. I feel like that looks better. Yeah, I like that a lot more now. That little little bit.
Director crazy when we do
Bob
this.
knows. He's like, add that little bit of white.
She's mean. She'll be out here to get me in a second. Just drop in a happy little tree.
See what he's doing?
Give him a little friend right there.
I don't want to put the trees there. Like, I honestly feel like this, I like the way this looks. Spectrum for it, that's a cool idea. I love it.
Maybe this is a big evergreen. Pop in the indication.
But I'm going to say no.
A few little limbs and stuff.
Do you know what? An evergreen does look
Hang
really
right
nice,
up
though.
like that. And this little tree needs some too.
Now I'm second guessing myself. 1. I'm not going to do the second one. He did 2. Good choice. Evergreens just... we have so many distant trees. I feel like getting one up close tree is a good idea. One up close. This is a tree. And I just like drawing the leaves, honestly. That's a good portion of it, so I just like doing the leaves. Is it Leviathan the music? Oh yeah, Wreck of the Seaman. So quiet. Damn, you guys got better ears than I do. I can barely hear it. You guys got legit better ears than I do over here. Or you just, you know when Leviathan's happening. It's Hard to not know that. Alright, alright. Rhythmic bells.
Very simple way of making some very effective little trees. Pick up a little yellow, it'll turn green, and we can highlight that a little.
Alright, go a little lighter highlight. Probably this, but a bit darker. It's kind of a darkness highlight. That's not quite great. Darkness highlights aren't a thing. I mean, they're called shadows. So yeah, they are a thing, but don't listen to me, I'm tired. Darkness highlights. Ooh boy. Clearly painting taking a lot out of me tonight. Somehow, some way. I don't know how I feel about the highlights on that one, but it's okay.
The old clock on the wall tells me that it's about time to leave you for today. I really hope you've enjoyed this one. It's a lot of fun. It'll teach you how to use all the equipment.
Didn't expect a bunch of good quotes from tonight, but here we are.
And from all of us here, happy painting, and God bless, my friend.
Alright. I basically done, but I just want to blend that with the base a little bit down there. I feel like it looks like it's just right out of there. I want it to at least look like there's some amount of blending with it. Except I apparently got the wrong green, but it's okay. It at least cuts that sharp corner edge off it. Which is what I wanted. Let me just take a lean back. Ain't bad. I'm once again going to cut the Bob Ross bit real quick just so I can screenshot that with the clip tool. Because if I full screen it for you guys, it'll look weird. And we will snip it again. Pardon the nonsense. There we go. Don't write it. While I'm on YouTube, apparently somebody left another spam comment. Let me get that the hell out of there. Perfect. Yeah, right? Why is Bob Ross super quotable? I don't know. But he is. But yeah, that's the button again. Is it exact? No! Is it bad? Also no. I feel like this was a better than I expected. I mean, I knew it was going to be fun. It's same picture, clearly. I knew it was going to be a good time. I had no doubt of that. I wouldn't have put it on the list if I didn't think it was going to be a good time. I feel like they came out better than I thought. I like this one better than the first one, but you could chalk that up to practice and whatnot at this rate. But yeah, that's good times. You and me both, Grim. You and me both. But yeah, obviously thank you to everybody who put some heckin' points into the heckin' obviously the mountains. Yeah, great. The mountains. I feel like I did the mountains pretty okay. I'm proud of the mountains. But everybody who put channel points into this, I don't know what we're gonna do for our next one, but I'm gonna wait till like a week after Rise before I even put anything there. I'm not sure what we'll put there, but I'll come up with something. Besides that, we're pretty set for the stream schedule for the upcoming few days, week. Tomorrow is Bravely. Saturday is a Guilty Gear. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. It's one of the Guilty Gears. We have 2 available. Sunday is Odin Spheres. Monday, Fear's using a ticket. We're going to do Loop Hero. Tuesday, we're going to play Double Cross. It's going to be our fond farewell to Double Cross. Wednesday, we're off. Thursday at midnight, we're starting up Rise, and we're stopping when I decide to stop. Yeah. We have more than 2 Guilty Gears? I mean, I have access to 2 Guilty Gears. I have Accent Core Plus and Xrd Rev 2. I could buy the original Guilty Gear. I could. I'm not going to. But you're right, I could. that is possible. I could buy Guilty Gear 2. But I'm not going to. Nah. Yeah, good times all around tonight. Thank you everybody for coming by, enjoying some chill Bob Ross goodness. I have now seen exactly 2 full episodes of Bob Ross and have painted along with both of them. So that's pretty awesome. We have the extra shout out. The Guilty Gear MOBA is Guilty Gear 2, yeah. I don't know why that one's Guilty Gear 2, but yeah, that one's Guilty Gear 2. Obviously, Grim, thank you for the 40 heckin' months resubscription. Everybody in chat hanging out, having a good time, enjoying some art. Let's hide that so I can go see who might be streaming. If anyone's going. Funny. I feel like nobody's going as late lately. Probably people resting up for Rise is what it probably is. Yeah, you wouldn't, right, Grim? But you'd be wrong. It's Guilty Gear 2. Which is why none of the other ones can be Guilty Gear 2. None of the fighting games can be Guilty Gear 2. Withdrawal. We just don't know yet. True, and then I can convince Afro to hop by and play Justice. So ourselves a monster. Quote. And I'll start my bot. That sounds like me tonight. Tonight I understand why I didn't, because I was busy trying to make sure everything else worked on the overlay and everything. So, for once I'm going to cut myself some slack on that one. I just started it. It immediately disconnected. Third prize to child. Cool. Quote a Discord. Death Stranding was such a... Death Stranding was a trip. A trip I enjoyed, but it was a trip. Also, Grim, how dare you? How dare you?
Its city-states are built on deceit, and its fate
There we go.
is an
So yeah,
instrument
thank you all
of
for tuning in, thank you all for watching. This has been Viper Survivorland. I'm going to mark the community challenge as complete, because we did it. And yeah. This has been Viper Survivorland. I'll see you all next time.
To fight in their stead, though your comrades only rarely respond in kind, which is strange, is it not? Are the 12 otherwise engaged?